Council Rock High School in Newtown, Pennsylvania, Tri-State Media presents the PIAA Eastern semifinal between the Bucks of Central Bucks West and the Comets of Abington Heights High School. Happy Thanksgiving weekend, everybody. With Tom White and our field reporter, John Price, I'm Florian Kempf. And Tom, when you say Thanksgiving and you talk about quality football in Pennsylvania, it's always time to ride that express to the PIAA State Championships, known as the Central Bucks West Bucks. Here we are again.
Hey, let's start this pregame. We'll tell you about the Video Computer Store. Today's pregame show is brought to you by Video Computer Store. For all your computer needs, visit the computer store. And if you need computers, you need Video Computer Store. You've got to pay them a visit.
That's right. We're glad they could join us on the pregame and our halftime. We have a duplicate of that here this afternoon.
Last year, Florian, you and I had an opportunity to go out to Hershey when CB West played Central Dauphin. You and I were talking earlier how this day kind of reminds us of that day. Now, hopefully for CB West, they don't want they want the same outcome. They just don't want it to be that same kind of day where they had to fight into overtime to win that game. But it's going to come down to the defensive line against the defensive line for Abington Heights against the offensive line for CB West. I think whoever wins that battle wins the game.
Well, we talk about the conditions are absolutely perfect. A gorgeous and almost spring-like afternoon. The only challenge in terms of Mother Nature, there's a stiff crosswind on the field, so it would only affect the punting, the kicking, or the throwing game. And of course, both teams here, great support, a packed house here at Council Rock. Last year, the Bucks faced a team a little bit different, a team, Central Dauphin, that liked to go to the air. This afternoon, they face a team quite similar to themselves.
Yeah, big team, big offensive line. We'll get into the size of the guys, but they have a couple guys in the 280 range on that offensive and defensive line. So size-wise, you got to say that it's probably the biggest team CB West is going to face all year. And we're going to have to see, how that plays out. Are they as athletic as CB West? Some of these big guys for West, not only are they big, but they're very athletic. So you got to deal with not only their size, but their athletic ability. And we'll see how the Comets from Abington Heights did fare with that.
Well, we're off to a good start because the official got the coin toss right. And much to the appreciation of the Central Bucks West fans, they won the toss. They will receive Adam Smith kicking off. And the Bucks on your screen with the black jerseys, the yellow pants, moving from left to right. And we are under action. A good kick to the far side is going to be kept in. And the Bucks are going to get a nice return to the 15. Back across to the 20. And there you see some good kickoff coverage and a good return there by the Bucks.
It looks like Dave Camber, number 41. He's a sophomore player, had a really big second part of the season. Plays in the secondary, will come in on some defensive coverages, and had some big interceptions, especially in the Council Rock game, which sealed that win for CB West. Again, CB West coming in 12-0, Suburban 1 champions again, District 1 champions again, trying to defend that state title.
And we've got a first and 10, just on the 22. Mike Oriole, the quarterback, will give you the starting lineup. He hands off the first, a running play right up the middle for a couple. And the Bucks get things going right away on the ground.
That was Pachotti, only got well, you know what, you don't look at it, but like he got a whole lot of yards, but he got about 3.5 yards. On first down, it's not bad. They got big number 71 in the middle of the line there for Abington Heights, Chris Jenkins. He's 6'6", 295 center. You have to see him to appreciate him. Big guy, and he's lining up right on one of the Wilson brothers.
2nd and 8, the ball on the 25. The Bucks with the pitch outside. Pachotti comes over and takes it down. And on that play, Dave Edwards, the ball carrier.
Edwards has really developed as a good back, had a good season, and he picked up his momentum. There he tries to sweep, gets a yard out of it. Number 19 for Abington Heights, the corner, Derek Hewlett, and we'll talk about him. He's one of the captains, having a big year at the running back spot. He comes up, makes the hit, takes him down, and it's a big third down play for CB West. Coming in, everybody talked about the run game. You'll be surprised today. I think you'll see Mike Oriole have a big day throwing the football.
Matt Carey, the lone receiver on the far side. 2 backs. Long count. Handoff on the outside. And right over the middle, Dustin Pachotti And that time, the Comets come up with a big stop.
Derek Hewlett, he's playing linebacker out there that time. He run blitzed on that play, and Abington Heights is going to have to do a lot of that today to take away that power game. On the play, he's coming full speed in the gap that Pachotti's trying to come in, cuts out his feet, takes him down, and you know what? That's a great defensive series for Abington Heights. They had to travel 2 hours to get here. CB West only a half. They're going to get the ball back here in this first quarter.
So the Bucks stopped on their first drive. Justin McDonald gets a punt. It'll bounce at midfield. It'll take a CB West bounce and drop just inside on the 37-yard line. So for the Abington Heights Comets, a pretty good defensive series. Now starting for the Abington Heights offense. The quarterback will be Chris Kelly. The offensive line, Kevin Manning, Brian Davis, Chris Jenkins, Greg Habib, Corey Wack, and Adam Smith. And in the backfield, Derek Hewlett is their main go-to guy on the ground. Corey Lepiska, one of the receivers, and Dan Girardi. It'll be a 1st and 10 from their 38, and an outside pass to the near side. Quickly picked up Joe Brooks, and Brooks is tackled at about the 42-yard line on the near sideline.
Hewlett comes in motion, comes down the line of scrimmage, and West is going to adjust to him moving out, and they throw a little, just a little step pass to Brooks, and he takes it up the field, and he's going to get, looks like a good 5 yards on first down. Did a nice job at the end of the run to switch hands and get the ball to the outside hand. And a good first down play by the Comets.
Starting defense for the Bucks, we're looking at a 2nd and 6, a pickup of 4, and that will give that to you in a second. Kelly, the quarterback, receiver in motion to the far side. Adam Smith, tight end. There it is on the run, a pass intercepted, a big play at midfield. So the Bucks with a great read at midfield as Kelly decided to go to the air. Picked out of the air, and for the Bucks.
That looks like number 14, Billy Stone. Nice job. He gets back in his coverage. He's got that flat responsibility out there. He just drops in it. The quarterback, Kelly, gets out there. I think he throws the ball a little quickly, doesn't set his feet, and the ball goes through the receiver's hands, and Stone does a nice job to gobble it up. And there's the first big turnover of the game. West got good field position on their own 46-yard line and in business.
Turnover, here it is, a 1st down from the 45 of the Comets, a fake handoff, and it's back. Oriel fires a long downside and almost picked off. A great defensive play by Joe Brooks. A pass intended for Brian Buckley.
I like the call. Got everybody frozen on a line of scrimmage and the linebackers. Buckley clears the safety, but Brooks did a great job, Florian, to recover on that play. Mike Oriel got enough air under it, but Brooks did a nice job to recover and get a hand on it and knock it away. But you gotta mix it up a little bit in these playoff games. Show them that you can throw the ball and you're gonna put it in the air, but look for them now to come back to Edwards and Pachotti.
2nd and 10 from the 46. Buckley comes in motion, the near side. There's the pitch back, right through the line of scrimmage. A pickup of about almost 5 on that play. Good running play, and Edwards again. And the starting offensive lineman, Chris Havner, the center today. Ben Carver, John Torr, Rob Bauer, Joe Wilson, and John Wilson, the tight end, were the starters, along with Sean Michael Janssen, Dustin Pachotti, and Dave Edwards.
They're just a sweep. They get Pachotti out in front of that, and you talk about Pachotti as a running back, but he's also a terrific blocker. He'll blow you over, and there he gets out in front and gets big yardage on 2nd down.
3rd and 5 from the 41. Bucks in motion, Buckley again, the far side. Back again, some good blocking in the middle, good pursuit. Edwards again, he squirms up ahead, picks up a couple of yards, but it is short of the 1st down.
Tackle on the play, number 64 in there. Brian Davis, he's one of the captains, 6'2", 235, did a nice job to ward off his block and come down a line of scrimmage. And here's a big first 4th down play of the game.
And we've got the starting lineup for the Abington Heights Comets. Across the front, Corey Lepisko, Kevin Manning, Brian Davis, Adam Smith. The linebackers, Dave Belch, Dan Girardi, Brian Connors, and Joe Brooks. Secondary, Jeff Langen, Chris Kelly, Derek Hewlett, and Ryan Verano. Here it is, a 4th and 3 from the 38. A big play, clutch play. The Bucks on the move. Buckley again, we've got an offsides call, and jumping offsides, Greg Kinsel.
They talked about this in the paper this week. West has had some problems with the motion penalties and the offsides. There you got less than 5 yards, so the call is you go on 2, you try to draw the defense off there. So Mike Oriole gets under center, he goes hut. Unfortunately, he pulls his own team off sides. It's a good call, but unfortunately they go off sides. Abington Heights, good discipline on the defense not to jump, and West is going to have to punt.
So punting again, Justin McDonald, again, punting into a crosswind. Has a lot of time, high boot, down. It's gonna be picked up. Abington Heights having trouble on it. Looks like Jeff Langan, the return man, and he is pinned inside the 10 at about the 6-yard line. That is excellent punt coverage.
Well, actually, you know, I'll tell you what he's got to do there. His other guy down there receiving the punt has got to talk to him. He's got to let that punt go. He catches the ball on the 2-yard line. He's got to let it go in the end zone and get the ball out to the 20. I got to say that's a mistake by the returner to field that ball on the 2-yard line and take it and only get it to the 9. So, you know, I think that's a blunder on their part, but let's see if they can get away with it.
Second offensive series coming up here for the Abington Heights Comets. Both teams have stalled in their opening drives and from deep in their own territory on their 8-yard line. The quarterback, Kelly. Back, a handoff through the middle, a run, and it looks like an easy pickup of a first down right up the middle, and it looks like it's Hewlett on the carry.
Yeah, good line surge. He gets out in front of big number 71, Chris Jenkins, and boy, he is a big guy, just right behind him, and looks like they're gonna spot that ball about a 4.5, 5-yard gain on first down. That's a nice run.
So Kevin Manning, the big lineman up there at 280, pencils in. It'll be a 2nd and 6. Pitch back again, and there he goes. Hewlett again wiggles his way. This time he picks up that first down and more as he just weaved his way upfield.
Little I backfield counter. What you do is in an I backfield, you usually, the fullback is going to take you to the play. On that play, the fullback went right and Hewlett countered back left. Big hole. He made a nice adjustment at the line of scrimmage, was able to get the first down. Nice adjustment with the ball, and a big first down for Abington Heights to get him out of that hole after the what I considered a non-call, not fielding that punt or fielding the punt.
3 receivers, they go for the run again. Hewlett with a huge hole up around at the 43, finally stopped, and it was a good tackle. Looks like we've got a penalty coming up, a locking of helmets, so to speak.
That was interesting. You know, you don't see that too often, but 44, I think that's Angelo Polinos, got his helmet stuck with one of the linemen from Abington. They had the referee come over and get him unhooked. But again, this Hewlett, he's everything they talked about in the pregame. Real slashing, hard runner, and 2 big runs, and they're almost out to the 42-yard line. 2 receivers, 2 backs again. There he is, right tackle. He picks up. He's got another first down, and he's off down to the far side. Hewlett again is finally taken down from behind by Sean Michael Janssen. Just some big holes over there on the west side of the field. Hewlett into the hole. The thing I like about him is he hits the hole incredibly fast. There you see, he doesn't have breakaway speed because he gets caught from behind by Michael Janssen. But this Abington Heights in 3 plays have broke off about 40, 50 yards on runs. And quite surprising, both teams in their first offensive series, Tom, showed that they wanted to throw the ball, but now Abington Heights having incredible success on the ground. Same formation again. This time they go to the up back, and that was Dan Girardi. He picks up a couple, but not much. Yeah, Girardi, you got to give him credit because he's the guy leading on those other runs for Hewlett. There he gets an opportunity to see what he can do, and he gets, I'm going to say they're going to give him 5, 6, 7 yards, I'm going to say, on first down. Right now, Abington Heights has got West on their heels. So Abington Heights on the move. They've got a 2nd and 5 coming up at the Bucks 16-yard line. Surprise, their second drive of the game here in the first quarter, just under 5 minutes to go. Kelly again, there's Hewlett. He is hit, and what a beauty of a tackle, and a great read coming in there back from the Central Bucks West. It looks like it's Brian Callahan. Well, that time, what happens is on defense, if you start to get a team pushing you off the line of scrimmage, you got to start putting linebackers in the gap to make up for that push. There they send the linebacker on a run blitz, and he's effective, makes a play. Here's a big 3rd down. See if West can stall this drive.
So a 3rd and 3 coming up. The Bucks now hanging tough defensively. There's the fake. Kelly goes himself. He takes a couple of hits. He does not get it, I believe. A great stop. 2 hits. He avoided 1 tackle. It looks like getting there first was Andrew Elsing. And then he bounced off of Elsing, and then he took another hit, and then I think he came up short.
Yeah, he's going to be 2 yards short. He had to get to the 12. He's only at the 14. I think that's a design play. He fakes the dive off of that power and then supposed to follow, but he had nowhere to go. Good surge by Elsing, the DN. And he's a kid that's really come on the defensive line. About 6'2", 185 pounds, but he's quick as can be.
Here the fans cheering. The Bucks trying to stop 1 yard. They go up the middle. We'll see if they get it or not.
I don't know. Based on where the stick is and where they spot it, I think he's a yard short. I think West held.
So West again, real strong, Tom, up the middle with that interior defense. Abington Heights, the first time that they've won the Lackawanna Division I District Championship, a team that has been on the rise the last couple of years under 4th-year coach Greg Justave. Now, they tell me the program was started by Coach Donato, Tony Donato, and Greg Justave was the assistant, and the first down has been awarded to the Abington Heights Comets.
I'll tell you what, I'm looking across the field, and I must be blind, but it looked like the stick was on the 11 or 12 yard line, and that ball, I'll tell you, they got a good spot there. They keep this drive going. You got to love it if you're an Abington Heights guy.
Well, we already have 1 turnover on the game for the Bucks, and it could not come at a better time with a first down at their own 12-yard line. Here's a super hit right past the line of scrimmage, and it looks like coming out of that backfield, Ryan Blumgren.
And we know that name from past years. Ryan, he's a hitter. I had the fortune to coach Ryan as a weight ball kid, and he is tough, and he'll hit you. There they send him on a blitz. He gets into the backfield, makes a great hit, and that's what you're going to have to do here. That big offensive line of Abington Heights, a way to neutralize it. You got to run blitz there. West has done it twice. Those 2 sneaks, he was able to get 1 or 2 yards on it, but look for West to do more of that.
So Chris Kelly, again, the quarterback, and we've got 2 receivers on the near side, Brooks and Lepisco. And in motion, Smith, the end. There's a pitch back again. Hewlett looks, he cuts inside. He might get a yard, but not much. And the Bucks again have rallied for a nice stop.
Well, a lot of times what happens too, you'll see guys start to pick up what they're doing and keying on them, and West will start doing that.
Hey, there's a reporter down on the field with a bright red tie, and I think it's from Ventresca's. It's none other John Price. John, are you there?
Yeah, once again, a big thank you to Ventresca's, Florian and Tom. Down on the field, Abington Heights came out a little out of character, tried to throw the ball. They've gone back to the running game. They've got huge fan support. Unfortunately for West, the fans are as vocal as they've seen all year, and with good reason to be. They brought 4 busloads of people down here, and I'll send it back up to you guys for the call.
3rd and 10 as Hewlett battles his way through the midfield, showing a lot of courage. Now, he needed to pick up 10 yards. I think he comes up short there, Tom, on that play.
Yeah, he looks like he's at just short of the 5. He's got to be to the 2. So it looks like it's going to be 3rd and 3, but a nice design play. Looks like play action, and he gives the deep handoff to Hewlett on the draw. He makes somebody miss early and gets about 2 or 3 extra yards. So it's actually 4th down, and they're going to have quite the spot. Looks like about
pizza.
4th and 5.
I smell pizza. It means it's got to be one of those Domino's timeout pizzas. Tom, tell me all about it.
Yeah, timeouts for Domino's, right? We're right for this timeout. We're sponsored by Domino's Pizza. Why not take a moment and give Domino's a call, and you'll get a fresh popping hot pizza delivered to your door in about a half hour. Make that a piping hot pizza.
Wow, a piping hot pizza, boy, it smells good. How about your toppings? How little peppers and mushrooms, and couldn't ask for anything more to top off your Thanksgiving Day weekend after all that turkey and fine desserts. But we've got 1:12 left to go in the first quarter. No score. It is a 4th and 4. The ball is on the 6-yard line. The Comets have it. It looks like they're going to go for a field goal. And it looks like Sean Hare will be getting in position to kick it. Sean is a sophomore, 5'10", 155. And by the way, Derek Hewlett, the running back, picking up the yardage. He's only 180 pounds. Here's the snap, the hold, the kick is up, and it looks good. And it looks good. So the first points were scored by Sean Hare, the kicker.
Well, I'll tell you what, West has got to feel pretty good about that defensive series, because Abington Heights really moved the football very well, but when West had to, they got real tough, held them to a field goal. That's a great job by the defense. And a lot of times people talk about CB West and their offense, their offensive line, but things that win championships are defense. And West over the years, even last year, the thing that won big games for them, especially like in that Central Dauphin game, when they had to make a big play in that overtime, the defense did it. So defense is key, and I think they showed up there to hold them to 3. Now let's see if West can get their offense in gear and get some points themselves.
Well, they have 1:08 left to go in the first quarter. It's Abington Heights 3, the Central Bucks West Bucks 0. And the Bucks again with a great defensive stand. As we go down to John. John, on the field.
I wanted to finish my thought. This is an Abington Heights team that have averaged 5,500 fans out to their home game. As recently as 6 years ago, they were 1-9. The last 4 years, they've won their league title, and they brought, it looks like, most of the people from the town with them. I'll send it back up to the booth, guys.
Okay, and the Bucks on the return, right up the middle. They get a nice wedge, and here's a break outside. The ball is flipped. Dave Edwards loses it. It's going to be recovered at midfield, and we're going to see it's loose again. But following up, Sean Michael Janssen, as Dave Edwards had it pop loose, and we talk about turnovers. There it is, fans. Take a look across the side of the field. The fans will tell you the story.
Well, Edwards, what he did is he was very patient. He waited till the wedge developed, and then right after the wedge developed, he burst through there. Looked like he was maybe off to the races. I don't know if somebody got their hand in behind him and popped it out, but the ball popped out. Looked like Janssen from nowhere dove on the ball, but a lot of times what happens is you roll over the ball, and that's obviously what happened. And underneath that pile, somebody in blue and white was able to come up with it, and Abington Heights has got the ball back right at the 50-yard mark.
So Abington Heights, just having scored on the field goal, now up 3-0. A turnover on the kickoff return. Now 2 turnovers, 1 for each team, has been critical. Quick handoff. Hewlett makes his way up, picks up maybe a punishing 1 or 2 yards. As we wind our way down to the final seconds here of the first quarter, 40 seconds left to go.
Big Chris Jenkins in the middle of that line, the center, just didn't have any block on Buckley. We've seen Buckley, who's played as a sophomore in the D-line, number 9. He's also the wingback on offense. Very quick, very strong. Was able to control that big guy and make the tackle. You got to love Buckley. Right over the nose, number 9, looking to have a big day.
No pickup again. 2 receivers on the far side. Tight end on the near side. Kelly's pursuit behind. He throws it right through the hands of Joe Brooks. Good pressure. Dustin Picciotti right on the heels of the quarterback.
Kelly doesn't look comfortable throwing the ball. There he rolled out. I think he had more time. If he was more patient, he could have let the receiver clear. He throws it over his head, and here's a big play for West, 3rd down. They were able to stop him last time. Let's see if they can do it here.
Oh, as Tom mentioned, the defense has come up on many occasions, keeping the Bucks in the game until the offense got their game in sync. As we have the final 11 seconds coming up, it is a 3rd and 10 from midfield, the 50. Here it is, a fake handoff. Kelly has time, pressure right on. He comes over to the left side, pass is complete, and there's a big break, and on the way, it's Derek Hewlett. Hewlett again takes a hit, and he is slammed down, that time by Sean Michael Janssen.
And what a block on the comeback, number 11 for Abington Heights, Corey Lepisco. Crackback on Dave Camber. Dave's down, and he's a tough kid. I'm sure he just got his bell rung a little bit, but a great design play. It's roll out left. Angelo Polina in his face. You got to give Kelly a lot of credit because he's able to get the ball off to Hewlett. Kinzel comes up, isn't able to make the tackle, but what a crushing block on Camburn by Lepisco. He springs Hewlett, gets the 1st down, and right now Dave Camburn down. But I'll tell you what, this West defense, they're tough. They're gonna suck this up.
Well, that brings us to the end of the first quarter. So at the end of the first quarter, it's the Abington Heights Comets 3 and the Central Bucks West Bucks 0. We'll be back with the second quarter action right after these words on your home for high school playoff football, Tri-State Media.
Some people have an excuse not to watch Chat 24.
Castle Rock High School. Second quarter action underway. The Comets on the move, a 1st and 10 from the Bucks 29, a handoff. And again, Hewlett again takes a few hits and picks up about 6 yards on that play.
He is really tough. When he gets in the hole, he makes you miss. He's able to turn his hips and his shoulder and not give you a whole lot to tackle. Very shifty runner. You really got to square up and hit him square. Not a big guy, as you said. He's probably 180 pounds, but he's making people miss out there.
Pickup of 6, 4 to go. 2nd and 4, ball on the 24, and Hewlett was a kid that over the last couple of years only saw special teams action and spotty play defensively, worked hard with weights and running in the summer, and here he is, a leading player. There's a quick handoff again. They push ahead for that 1st down. Looks like it might have been Girardi.
And again, you get that halfback, making big plays. It's really nice to be able to give that quick hitter to the fullback, and Girardi right there just finds a hole, keeps those legs chugging, gets the 1st down. And tell you what, after that fumble, Abington Heights, that big 3rd down pass has got this drive going.
Okay, John, let's give us a sideline report.
Dave Camburn went down on the field. He lost his wind. The trainer's working on him now. He's a huge integral part of this West team. He's got 2 axes shown up on the left side of his helmet there to justify how valuable to the defense he is. The trainer's doing a good job working him over. They anticipate seeing him back in the game. They'll send it back up to you guys.
From the 19, 1st down, 1 receiver on the near side, 2 backs in the eye. There is the handoff again. Hewlett is hit from behind, and a great tackle, and it's Kinzel.
It's Kinzel, Polina, and Wilson in there. And again, it's that run blitz. You got to get somebody in that hole, try to guess where it's coming, and a lot of times they'll tell you just by the way they line up. And there they shoot the right gap and get them before anything gets going. Good defensive call. And there goes Camburn back into the game.
Good to see him back, so no gain on that. A 2nd and 10. Ball spotted at the 21 now. Chris Kelly, the quarterback for the Comets, is a guy that can also go to the air if he has to. We've seen him do it on a couple of occasions, but now it's been consistently. Here he goes. Under pressure. Great pressure. He gets by Picciotti. And again, he's tagged for a loss. And a big defensive play by the Bucks, and a whole gang led there by Ryan Blumgren.
Well, I'll tell you what, they get Camburn back in the game, and right away he makes a play. You don't see it, but he had his guy covered like a blanket. So as Kelly rolls out, there's nobody there. The pressure's able to get there and make the big play. But again, there's Dave Camburn making a play right after being almost knocked out, back in the game. Good coverage, and the defense again, Florian coming up big.
And Dustin Picciotti doing a great job blowing past the line of scrimmage and putting some early pressure, and then Ryan Blumgren and company following up. It's a 3rd and 17 from the 28. Kelly back. He's got time. High down the near side. We've got some tangle up, and now we have a flag. Now we have a flag from the sideline. We saw a tangle, but we didn't see the flag, and we'll see who the call will be against. But the intended receiver is Joe Brooks.
Well, this is going to be interesting because they got tangled up. It looked like, and here's the call. They're saying pass interference on CB West, but Camburn was inside of him, and as the ball was thrown, he turned up, and the receiver stepped into him. And the official makes the call against the defense. I got to tell you, I don't think that's a very good call, but it's going to be. Let's see how they mark this. They're going to call it a push, and it's not going to be an automatic 1st down. It's going to be, looks like 4th down and 5 here.
So the ball now.
No, it's automatic 1st down. Automatic 1st down.
It's a 1st down, and the ball is going to be on the 17. So the ball now is spotted on the 17, so penalties costly here for the Bucks, but the defense again hanging tough, so far holding the Abington Heights Comets, who have so far dominated on the ground, to just 3 points. And the defense again faces their next test. 1st and 10. Kelly, hands off. Hewlett hit a couple of times, and I think he might have been pushed back a yard or 2.
Well, what West did is now they've changed their scheme on defense. They put a couple more guys down on the line of scrimmage, and they're sending somebody on every play. That time, Abington Heights came out in a power backfield. They had two guys lined up in the fullback spot, trying to get that extra push. But again, the defense is coming up tough.
Andrew Elsing and Angelo Polina together doing a great job. Some good defensive support. I'll tell you, playing like a well-orchestrated defensive unit. So we're looking at a 2nd and 10. Fakes again, he goes to the air. This time he gets it to Brooks, and Brooks is going to be tackled down from behind as Dave Camburn was all over him. But Camburn that time didn't have the position, Tom, but he held himself. He didn't create the penalty, was patient, came up with a tackle.
It was almost like he was shielded from the play. He was right behind him, but he couldn't get to the ball. There was another CB West player in his way. Wasn't a very good pass. I think if he was able to get there, he might have been able to knock it down, maybe even intercept. But nonetheless, they're able to get the play off. Got to give Kelly the credit. He got it to him. But here again, the CB West team is not broken yet.
3rd and 6 from the 9. We're seeing some good young players. We'll talk about that at the next play. Now we've got 2 receivers to the left side, tight end to the right. Kelly again, he holds on to it. He tries to run. He keeps going, and he's going to be close, maybe a yard short of the first down. But that time, Kelly courageously holding on to the ball, running left of tackle.
Just a little key play. What he does is it looks like almost like maybe he's going to option the ball, but he just ran right at the end, got in a little seam, and fought his way towards the stick. Doesn't look like he's got it. 4th and 1. Let's see what they do here. Are they going to kick again, or are they going to go for it? They're going to kick.
Nice pickup on that play again by Kelly. This time they're going to go to the quarterback. Watch out for the fake on this play. Fumble on the hold, and a quick pass is intercepted, and back come the Bucks. Here's a great read. All the way down. The Bucks again on the return to the 50. On the way back, and it's Dave Camburn. Camburn all the way, touchdown! Camburn!
He's a player. We saw him get knocked down, and we told you he was going to come back and make a big play. The snap, a fumbled snap on the field goal. The quarterback picks it up. I think it was Hewlett, tried to throw it in the end zone, and Dave Camburn, we're going to give him a 100-yard return because he caught it right at the goal line and went 100 yards down the sideline and has totally changed this game around. CB West now up 6-3, and in Tumulty to kick the extra point. What a huge defensive play. And again, defense wins championships, and that's why.
Right there. What a perfect statement. Here comes the snap, the execution. It's down, automatic, and it's up. It's good. 7-3 on one key play with 6:46 to go in the first half. The Bucks pick up the lead for the first time, 7-3, an absolutely sensational play.
Well, the thing was, he did a great job to get to the sideline, and as he raced down the sideline, Camburn did a great job to use his blockers, let them get there, let them set up the blocks. There were a couple key blocks we probably, maybe on a replay, could catch who it was, but 2 big blocks on the return, spring him at the end. But he's a fast guy. I don't know what his speed is, but he's probably 4.5, 4.6. He just outraced the rest of that Abington Heights team, and to go 100 yards is a long way. And what a great play by Dave Camburn. You gotta love it.
Well, credit the Bucks training staff for getting him back ready to play. We saw him just a few minutes ago being tended to, having had the wind knocked out of him. And I'll tell you, this Bucks team, especially the defense, showing heart and character on that play. And that is simply, Tom, paying attention to detail. You know, the one team makes a mistake, and obviously they might not have practiced a fumble on a field goal attempt, what to do with it. And they gamble on it, and of course you play against a very well-disciplined defensive unit. They make the recovery. Not only did they take the turnover, but they run it back for points. What a dramatic turnaround in momentum here in the first half.
I'll tell you, CB West has got some young sophomores making a big contribution this year. You got Mike Oriel, got Dave Camburn, you got Phil DiGiacomo. These kids we're going to see for the remainder of this year, but for 2 more years, just great kids, work hard, and really contributing as sophomores in a program that generally is a junior, senior laden program. You got to love these kids and what they've done for the program this year, and it's going to be exciting to watch them the next couple of years.
So Hewlett is the return man down the middle. To his left is Tosh, and on the near side is Fordiani. Tumulty will kick it off from the 40. Up. Mother Nature says, wait a minute, we're not ready. Somebody's going to have to go out there and hold it. We've got a stiff breeze. And of course, the crowd on the far side from the Abington Heights area has been very vocal throughout the first half. And that play, that one play, Tom, pretty much silenced the crowd on the far side. And Again, we mentioned a packed house, perfect temperatures, the high 50s.
Well, it's, you know, we're allowed to do this. We're allowed to second guess the coach. And I got to tell you, you're in a district playoff game. It's 4th and 1 on the 10-yard line. You got to go for it. You know, these are big games. You're not going to win it with field goals.
And he has the personnel, and it's obvious the field goal unit didn't look like it was a very experienced one. Right down the middle, Hewlett picks up. Look at the wedge. He's going to run outside to the left, and he is hit and sandwiched from behind and taken down at about the 31-yard line. That is good kickoff coverage by the Bucks.
Looks like Damian Smith, I think that's number 32 on the hit there for CB West. Yeah, gets in the middle of that wedge, and he busts it up and gets Hewlett down. Hewlett, nice return. He got about 20, 25 yards on a return, but when you hold him to that kind of return, you're doing a good job. Now let's see if this defense can get this ball back and get that offense going. The CB West offense hasn't seen the ball that much this half.
And the defense, again, seeing a lot of time on the field, but of course in the first half, they're still in great condition. Here's the first play, handoff, Hewlett. He runs around and spins around in traffic. The ball, Tom, looked like it was momentarily exposed. I was waiting for it to squirt out, but nonetheless, to his credit, he held on for a pickup of about 4 or 5 on the play.
Yeah, he runs hard. You got to love his style. He's a slasher. Turns those shoulders, turns the hips, and he makes you miss. But there, again, it looked like he was going to get stopped in the backfield, and he's getting 5.5 yards on first down. Girardi, that big fullback, getting some big blocks on linebackers in there.
So from their 20-35, there's a handoff again. Hewlett again, quick acceleration, darts through, and this time he's about a yard or 2 short of that first down. Might have picked up 2 or 3 on the play. As we talked about the Bucks defense on the field for most of this first half. See a player change coming in, John Wilson with the play. Just over 5.5 minutes left to go in the first half. The Bucks in front, 7-3, along with our field reporter John Price, Tom White. I'm Florian Kemp. We're glad you could join us here on this Tri-State Media presentation, a PIAA Quad IA Eastern semifinal. 3 backs. There it is. And a big hit right through the line of scrimmage. And that might have been Brian Callahan.
Callahan, again, there's that run blitz. You got to try to guess a few times what they're going to run. Mike Carey, defensive coordinator, done a great job to try to guess what they're going to do. There he gets Callahan on a stunt in the backfield. Almost gets the handoff, Florian, and this West defense. Again, that's been a big part of this team all year. It's easy to talk about the offensive line and Pachotti and all the touchdowns, but this is what wins games right here.
So a punt situation from their own 38, and the Bucks will have great field possession. There's some pressure, a good punt to the far side. It's going to be handled there. Sean Michael Johnson lets it bounce and quickly handled and stopped by the Comets. So with 4:34 left to go in this first half, the Bucks will have a chance to get the offense going on their own side of the field.
Crowd giving the Buck defense a big hand, a well-deserved hand, because they played a lot in this first half. And a team that's really gone up and down the field, Abington Heights, there they hold them to 4 downs. And now this big offensive line, let's see if they can get some movement and get this ground game going.
Well, in terms of scoring average, the Bucks ranked 14th in the state this year, scoring a 38.67. Abington Heights ranked 6th, scoring 42.25 points per game. First down, their own side, running play up the middle. They ground it out for a couple, as the Bucks now try to keep that defensive line honest of Abington Heights. And size an issue. 2 teams that match up very well physically.
I'll tell you what, 71 and 77 in the middle of that line right there. That Kevin Manning, also a captain, along with Chris Jenkins, 71. They are some big guys.
And they can move.
and they're moving. They do a great job after the snap of the ball to really close on the play, and they've made it tough for West to run inside right now.
2nd and 7. We see a change in the formation from the 37. The pitch out again. Dave Edwards again has speed. He gets around. He's tripped up, but he lunges ahead for the first down before he's finally stopped defensively by Jeff Langen.
Look for Edwards to get heated up. Look for him to get some momentum. There they show strength, length of the field, wide side of the field. They motion, they show motion. They come back to this side. They set up, and it's just a pitch. Picciotti, what a great block, gets out in front, kicks out the corner, and Edwards is able to get up inside. If he doesn't trip, he could be off to the races.
Well, you just mentioned a name, Picciotti, doing some blocking. We know that he can run too, and he can do some things with the ball. And I don't know, it looks like we're having another chance to catch some pizza, Tom.
Yeah, let's get that piping hot pizza at Domino's.
What do we have on the menu? Tell me about it.
Well, I think they got some pepperoni. They probably got some sausage. I think if you got probably some what do they call those little fishy things? Some anchovies.
Man, Domino's.
Domino's pizza. Right there in the center of Doylestown. You gotta love it.
That's right. Get some turkey toppings for your Thanksgiving weekend. Here again, the Bucks again with a run on the outside, and there he goes. He picks up the first down. As again, Dustin Picciotti, who on the last play, Tom pointed out, come up with a good block. This time, picks up a big gain.
Again, that time they get Picciotti, a couple guys out in front. Buckley that time, he's the lead back, gets a hit on a linebacker, and Picciotti runs somebody over 9 yards on first down. And I'll tell you what, you get this big offensive line going, chugging along, and Picciotti getting some momentum along with Edwards, it could be a very interesting second half.
So a 2nd and 1 yard to go from the 46 of the Comets. The Bucks again, Oriole back, he's got time, fires it to the far side. Oh! In and out of the hands of Chris Ortiz, who was all alone.
I love the call. 2nd and 1, play action. Ortiz is wide open. Everybody's chasing Michael Janssen, who's had a big year catching the ball. He's their go-to guy. Everybody looks away from Ortiz, who we know has blazing speed. And again, that ball was right there. He leaps, just goes through his hands. He'll be back. He's a kid. You got to love his courage. He really has a busted up knee and has fought all year to try to stay in this lineup.
Trying to make a difficult catch, looking into the sun with a strong crosswind. So we're looking at a 3rd and 1 from the 46. Two backs again, a handoff to the big guy. Picciotti down the middle for 1 first down and more.
Gotta love Matt Carey, number 7, Buckley up in front there. They're in kind of that rhino formation. Get up in a hole, find a body, get a block on somebody, and let Picciotti kind of feel his way. He made a nice little move at the line of scrimmage to get an extra 5 or 6 yards. Now the clock, probably an enemy here, or West, just about the 2-minute mark as we get near the end of this half.
Ball on the 38, a 1st down and 10. Jonathan Tura, big play on that last one as well. Here it is, Picciotti around the outside left tackle. He can go! He is finally taken down with a touchdown-saving tackle by the quarterback, Chris Kelly.
Generally what happens is the short side of the field, you got to love the call, because generally teams are going to put an extra guy to the wide side of the field. West comes up with that rhino backfield to the short side, gets an extra guy where they have one less guy, and they're just pounding Abington Heights right now.
Correction on that, it was Joe Brooks, defensive back, with a stop. So again, the ball on the 15, another 1st down as the Bucks mean business here within the final 2 minutes, 1:51. There's the pitch out again. Edwards again. He is finally tackled from behind by Derek Hewlett. So that time defensively, the Comets getting some penetration.
Number 30 there, also up in there, Dave Belch, the linebacker, comes up with Hewlett to kind of bottle it up there right at the line of scrimmage. Probably the biggest defensive play they've made on this series. Minute 25 to go, and it looks like West is going to have to use one of their timeouts.
Well, there we go. We're talking about timeouts. It can only mean one thing, Domino's. Eating good and looking good. Looking good is John Price down on the field, and I don't know if he's standing by. John, you have anything for us there as the...
Ventresca's, like to see you all go out there and do some of your holiday shopping. You can get a tie like mine with the Christmas stuff. He's also doing custom suits, off-the-rack suits, and some sportswear. So really, there's no other place to go for the man in your life to do your shopping. Back down here on defense, you saw Hewlett make the tackle. Now, obviously, he's more known for his offensive stats, but last year he was recognized by the Scranton newspaper as an all-region D-back, so keep your eye out for that as well. Send it back up to you guys, Florian and Tom.
Thanks, John. You're looking good, and now we're going to be feeling good after we eat some Domino's pizza.
Yeah, it's Domino's time again, and we've talked about it. They do a great job. They have a nice lunch special. They got a buffet. I think you go in there for $3.99, and
Ooh.
you can get all the pizza you can eat. So if you get a chance, go out and get some of that piping hot pizza, you can also get it delivered to your door in about a half an hour. So if you get some time after the game, find that Domino's.
Hey,
Get something to eat.
after the game, just get your cell phone, call your order in, and by the time you get home, it'll be perfect timing. Okay, the Bucks. Time to get things settled here. They're up 7-3, a minute 25 left to go. The ball is on the 13, 3 yards they need to pick up the first. 13 away from a touchdown. Oriole, the quarterback. There it is. Picciotti again, stays on his feet and tripped up just as he got to the line of scrimmage defensively there by the Abington Heights, and it looks like it might have been Ryan Verano.
Yeah, he just came up and just tried to get as low as he could and just kind of submarine him. He was able to do that. Chotti's got to learn to keep his head up, maybe get his hand down on a guy like that, push him down, and maybe get a hop over him.
Or a high hurdle,
Easy to say, hard to do.
Yeah, exactly, with all that equipment on. 3rd and 4, the ball is on the 8. Oriole again, handoff. Quick, and they go again, a pitch out and held and taken down. That was Oriole, he's held onto it. And we'll see what kind of a pick out as they call for a timeout with 37 seconds. Time critical at this point. The Bucks need to come away, Tom, with at least 3 points.
Mike does a good job there to keep his balance. It looks like as he came off and he faked the ball to Picciotti, which is a nice design play because they see Picciotti. It's nice to fake. Last year, Potter did a great job of that, was able with Armstrong, you know, fake inside and then keep it outside. Great speed, and he ran hard. Their Oriole, same kind of concept. Gets tripped up a little bit in contact, I think, with Picciotti on the fake, and then just didn't get enough leg strength to get outside. But that's a good play in this offense to fake to Picciotti or Edwards and have Oriole keep the ball. But right now, 37 seconds to go in the half. It's 4th and looks like about 2 or 3 yards. What kind of call you got here?
Well, maybe you do something that the opposition doesn't expect you to do. Maybe try a pass play. The Bucks definitely need to come up with some points, but the second half is going to be very interesting as this game, Tom, has remained relatively close. Very a physical game between these two teams, a clean game. Endurance will become a factor towards the end of the 3rd and into the 4th and final quarter, as these teams have been giving each other's defenses pretty stiff workout.
Well, you might question, you know, why not a field goal here? I think you go back to our point, you know, hey, this is a championship game. You got to get touchdowns. The other thing is the wind is in their face here, and the ball's on the opposite hash. Might be a tough kick.
So the Bucks with a 4th down and 3 to go. Here it is, the ball from the 7. Oriole. Oh, we hear a call, and there's going to be, it's going to be see who this call will be against.
That looks like maybe the lineman for West jumped. Again, I don't know if Mike's down there calling, you know, on 2, trying to get him to jump, and they didn't jump. The West guy does. Now, the thing here is they get the 5-yard penalty, which makes the field goal a little tougher. Tumulty now in the kick. Stone will hold.
Yeah, well within his range. It looks like it's going to be about a 29-yard field goal from the left hash mark. So a critical one here. That has been the only scoring for Abington Heights, a field goal. Their 3 points. Tumulty will answer out of the hole. The kick, the ball down is up. It's up. Not quite. So a good defensive stand again for the Comets of Abington Heights. They will get the ball back with 32 seconds. So a moral victory for the defensive side of the Comets.
Yeah, I'll tell you, that penalty really hurts because, you know, first of all, it makes the kick a little bit longer. There's wind and all that. So, and emotionally, it hurts to come down all the way down the field and have that kind of penalty on 4th down. But I'll tell you what, West has shown me that, you know, they're maybe the dominant team on the line of scrimmage on that drive, and I think it's really an Abington Heights court to maybe
well, that's
come
right,
up with
and
something.
it'll show even more in the second half because I talk about it. It's got to be really physically challenging for the Comets of Abington Heights because they've been on the field defensively and offensively. They've been playing a very physical football game, and I would expect them to wear down in the second half, and I would expect the Bucks have a little bit more depth coming off their bench.
Kelly goes to a knee on 1st down, and it looks like we're going to, as a clock line rolls down under 10 seconds now, it looks like we're just going to wait for this to roll out. Now we're going to Going to halftime, it looks like Florian 7-3 CB West on that electrifying interception, 100-yard return by Dave Camburn. But a good first half. Both teams played well, but it will be interesting to see what happens in the second half.
So at halftime, it's the Bucks of Central Bucks West 7 and the Comets of Abington Heights 3. Stay tuned. Tom, John, and I will be back with a halftime wrap-up right after these few words on your home for PIAA Championship Football, Tri-State Media.
Versatility, security, with 4 doors for adventure. This is the 1998 Chevy Venture at A&T Chevrolet of Sellersville. Designed with comfort and roominess for mom and dad. For the kids, integral child safety seats and cup holders. A&T has a large selection of dependable Chevy Ventures in stock, with rates as low as 1.9%. And for a limited time, get a 3-year, 36,000-mile Smart Care plan included with each new 98 Chevy Venture. Offer expires May 23rd. So hurry into A&T Chevrolet of Sellersville today.
Pennsylvania, and welcome to the Computer One halftime show with Tom White and John Price. I'm Florian Kempf, and Tom, Computer One, our grateful sponsor.
Hey, today's halftime show is brought to you by Video Computer Store. For computers up to 70% off, you can call them at 1-800-600-8005 or visit their new location up there on Easton Road. It's about 10 miles north, 6907 Easton Road in Pipersville. The Video Computer Store, the only place for computers.
And we thank them for their support. And one thing you don't need during this game is a video computer or computer games, so to speak. We're seeing a very entertaining first half of football here with the Central Bucks West in front by a score of 7-3, and it should be no surprise defensively. They're a solid team. They're a team that has helped keep the offense in the game. But Tom, the difference, especially on the scoreboard, has been the defense coming up with a big play and turning that into points, and that has been the difference in the game.
Yeah, West has had a couple turnovers. They had a kickoff where the ball came out. Edwards, and then we had the, we had a couple turnovers there. The thing that's happened is West turned that one turnover into a touchdown. I mean, on the play, Camber goes 100 yards. Abington Heights, on the turnovers, the plays that they've had, they've only gotten 3 points. And again, we talked about it on that field goal where it goes for a touchdown the other way. It's 4th and 1. This is a big game. You got to be going for it, I think, in a game like this, and not going for a field goal, because as we get into the second half, touchdowns are going to be what wins this game.
Well, coming into this afternoon's contest, we were aware that both teams had very strong and very effective running games. However, throughout the first half, we've seen both teams' quarterbacks show that they are very capable of throwing effective passes that could ultimately affect the outcome of a very close game. We've seen Kelly be very effective for the Comets of Abington Heights, and of course Mike Oriole had that one pass that Chris Ortiz, Ortiz just was a little bit perhaps out of position, could not bring it down. That could be the difference possibly coming up in the second half. Big plays decide big games.
That's right. Well, let's go down to John. He's got something to tell us. John.
The Council Rock head coach Mike Ortman here on the sideline with me put a big scare into West earlier this year, so he's had much experience facing this Mike Patton team. So far during the first half, what are your impressions of what Abington Heights is doing and how successful they've been?
No, they did what they had to do. They're keeping the ball away from West, not allowing them to take the ball and just drive the clock away. At the same time, they put a score up on the board, and the scare came down there at that 3-yard line, and that was 4th and 1. There are going to be some questions whether they should have gone for that or not. But they've done what they had to do offensively by keeping the ball in defense. They've done a real good job shutting down West and not letting them have those long drives.
Knowing what you know about Coach Patton, what do you think's going on in halftime at the locker room?
There's paint coming off the walls right now. He's in there. I'm sure he'll scream at him, get him straightened out. And I think in the second half, West is going to wear on them. They're just too big. They're playing fewer people both ways. And I think they're just going to wear them down in the second half.
Coach Mike Ortman, Council Rock head coach, with some expert opinion. I'll send it back up to you guys.
Hey, and talk about expert looks there by John Price, courtesy of Ventresca's, of course, one of our generous sponsors here, one of our many sponsors, and our halftime sponsor, Video Computer. Special thanks to them as well. Okay, and that is it. At halftime, it's CB West 7 and Abington Heights Comets 3. Stay tuned. Second half action coming up right after these few words on your home for PIAA Championship Football, Tri-State Media.
Don't touch that dial. Run, don't walk. It's the largest selections of Subarus. Everything is happening right now only at A&T Subaru of Sellersville. Come in and test drive the Subaru Forester, rugged and dependable, or the cool sporty Outback. A&T has large selections of Outbacks, Foresters, Imprezas, and the all-new 99 Sport Utility Sedan, all in stock now for immediate delivery. Stop in now and get the best deals on the planet. That's A&T Subaru of Sellersville, the best deals and selections on Subarus in Pennsylvania.
Welcome back to Council Rock Field in Newtown, Pennsylvania. Second half action about to get underway with Tom White and our field reporter John Price. I'm Florian Kemp. We're glad you could join us on this festive Thanksgiving weekend. And for the Bucks, Tom, you look at the scoreboard, they've got to be happy they're in front 7-3. But if you know Coach Pettin, like most of the Bucks fans know Coach Pettin, that was certainly not a quiet halftime talk in the locker room.
Well, I'll tell you what, everybody's talking like maybe he was really, upset. I could see him getting upset about the penalties, the offsides, those type of things, because they drive you nuts. Let's go to John a minute. We'll come back at this thought.
John? Hey, we're looking for that guy with that bright, shiny red Ventresca tie, folks. And if you have a chance, Ventresca's in Doylestown. John Price, come in.
Yeah, guys, thanks a lot to the Daily Intelligentsia, Mike Sealski, for some halftime stats. They've got Hewlett at 90 yards, Dustin Picciotti at 55. The other key stat there is on the other side of the ball. Chris Kelly, the flutyish 5'9" quarterback for Abington Heights, is 3 out of 6, 29 yards, and 2 very important interceptions, obviously the one returned by Camburn. Coach Juste, when I spoke to him this week, was very respectful of the West program, amazed at how quickly they were able to fire off the ball and their level of execution, and it seems like he game planned pretty well so far. It's going to be interesting to see how both teams respond in the second half. One quick note, on the way into the locker room, I noticed Greg Kinzel had a pretty large amount of ice attached to his right calf, so haven't had a chance to see if he came out or not, but that'll also be something to keep an eye on. Florian, Tom, back up to you guys.
Thanks, John, for that Ventresca report. And it's amazing, Tom, when you wear a nice red tie, how people cooperate with you.
Yeah, they follow you everywhere, right?
That's right.
But back to what I was saying, I think everybody was thinking, Pettin probably really got on him at the half. I could see maybe the 2 penalties they're probably right. But West didn't play a bad first half. I think Abington Heights came out and had a pretty good half. But he's got to be happy with the defense, and his offense started to move the ball. So I think they're in position to really take control of this game in the second half.
Tumulty gets a good foot into it. It's going to be handled by Fortiani. He gets by 1 or 2, but not much. And he has slammed down at about the 24-yard line of the Comets. So good kickoff coverage for the Bucks here to start the second half, and the Bucks defense will go to work.
Damian Smith down there gets the first hit on the returner. Wasn't able to make the tackle, but he slowed him down enough for the rest of the team to get there. And again, this is big for Abington Heights, because out of the half, you got to say West had the momentum. They need to grab it back, because if they go 3 and out here, it could be a long second half for them.
So the Bucks in front, 7-3. There's a first play, a handoff. Hewlett squirts up the middle of the field, picks up a couple of yards on the play.
Bowser, number 68 for West, does a great job. Isn't able to make the tackle, but what he does is he stands his guy up and pushes him into the runner, Hewlett, and is able to help him knock him down. Great technique on a defensive lineman's part to do that, because a lot of times you're tied up with that offensive guy and you can't get off him. If you just take them and push them into the hole, that's effective, and he did that. Great job.
2nd and 7 from their own 27. 2 receivers on the near side, and he drops it, and we quickly got a penalty flag, so obviously somebody moved a little bit early in there. Of course, the quarterback there, Chris Kelly, facing the sunshine.
Kelly was talking to Chris Jenkins, that big center. Obviously, they had their signals mixed up, because I think what happened is Jenkins forgot to snap the ball on what was supposed to be the count, and Kelly goes pulling out thinking the ball's going to be there, and he bobbles the snap. Luckily, he was able to get it back.
So a 5-yard penalty assessed on that. It'll be a 2nd and 12 on the play from the 22-yard line. Same formation. Again, Kelly under pressure right up the middle. Dustin Picciotti almost had him, and he lobs, and it's up for grabs, and it is almost picked off. Sean Michael Janssen had it in his hands, and then it was batted out by Charles, actually on the play by Adam Smith.
Yeah, Smith actually did a nice job to become a defensive player on that, because Kelly had no business throwing that football, threw it up in the air and across the field in the wind, and as it turns out, I'll tell you what, Abington Heights, Florian just dodged a bullet, because Janssen goes up, highest point, tries to get it, but Smith does a good job to knock it away, becoming a defensive player. And here we go, 3rd and 12 for Abington Heights. They need a first down, because they give the ball back to West. I think West is going to make some noise on offense.
Defense doing the job against, this time Smith in motion to the far side. Kelly again, his pressure right in his face. He's sacked, and he throws it up in the air just as he goes down. Sean Michael Janssen teams up with Angelo Paulina for the stop.
Yeah, Elsing in there with the linebacker. Great pressure. You hear the crowd here giving that defense a hand for a great job. They're going to have to punt. You got Cam Byrne and Janssen back on about their 35-yard line, but he's kicking this ball up in the wind, so it'll be interesting to see what the wind does with this.
Nothing fancy on a punt. Janssen comes up, he mishandles, he recovers, and quickly on it was Corey Lepisco trying to knock it loose, but Sean Michael Janssen gets good coverage with his body, and the Bucks now, their offense, will have a chance to get things going here in the 3rd quarter.
You know, that's one of the toughest things I think anybody in a football field has to do, is catch a punt on a windy day. The ball gets up there. You and I can see it real well from this vantage point. It gets up there, and it almost stands still, and it's tough as the guy receiving it to do it. Janssen did a nice job after he dropped it to get on it.
Oriole with 3 backs. Looks, here's a handoff. Edwards again. He goes for the first down, and he's going to take it in. Dave Edwards at the 10, at the 5, touchdown! The first play of the 2nd half. Dave Edwards and the offensive line making the way, and the Bucks go up 13-3.
Come into that power eye. It's a scissors play off of the power eye. You get the kick out block with Picciotti. There was nobody in the secondary. Abington Heights had everybody up on the line of scrimmage, probably looking power or dive with Picciotti. And I'll tell you, Dave Edwards has done a great job the 2nd half of the season to really come on. I don't think early in the season that CV West thought that Dave Edwards was going to be their big guy in the backfield, but he really has come on, and he's a big part of this offense.
So Bob Tumulty will attempt the extra point. Kick the hold, and it is good. So the Bucks go up 14-3, and I'll tell you, Dave Edwards earlier in the game had that ball knocked loose on a return, and of course made good with it with a touchdown. That shows heart and character. And talking about looking good down on the sidelines, do we have another look at it on the replay screen? There it is. Great camera work at field level. There you see the blocking, the work done on the offensive line, and look at Dave Edwards go.
He was untouched. He got 7 yards into the backfield. They ran that play first quarter. You just see him score there. You get Van Treska's as our replay. Van Treska's custom sports formal wear. They're our slow-mo sponsor of the day. But they ran that play in the first quarter, and if you remember, Edwards got tripped up and came to the turf. West coaches must have said, you know, I think we can run that play and run it successfully. Come back first play after the punt, and Edwards goes the distance. He's a big guy. You don't realize Edwards, he's about 6'1", 6'2", and probably close to 200 pounds and good speed. Gets behind Pachotti's block and goes the distance. You got to love that.
So the Bucks offense responds with their first touchdown of the game coming early here in the third quarter. The Bucks are up 14-3. Tumulty about to kick it off. Hewlett, their lone return man in the middle. And Tumulty kicks away, high pooch, and Hewlett will get it. Hewlett behind the wedge, to the left, out to the 30, and he's taken down at the 37-yard line. Good kickoff coverage by the Bucks. Host of tacklers getting up in there.
Elsing in there, also number 22
Schmidt.
In there. Andy Schmidt, nice job busting up that wedge.
So again, the defense for the Bucks.
Mark Roth also in there on a tackle. Good job, Mark.
Receivers spread out. Two on the near side. Smith on the far. Looks to the near side, completes a pass, and a quick tackle on the play. Corey Lepisco taken down, wrapped up nicely in there. Sean Michael Janssen, and also coming in there for the Bucks, Andy Elsing.
Good first down play, got about 3 yards. They've kind of gone away from their run game, but I think that's the one thing they got to come back to if they want to get back in this game.
Well, that's it. But the Bucks defense, especially in the last series, were so strong up the middle. I think that they've got to try to open things up, and perhaps this is their only chance as they're down 14-3. Here it is, a second down play. Hewlett again. He takes a hit, spins around, and he takes a pretty stiff hit from Ryan Blumgren, and Ryan has been having an absolutely great game. It's got to make you happy, Tom, one of his former coaches.
Ryan's a tough kid. He loves to hit people, comes up, sticks them, and he's done a great job in the weight room. He's put on 15, 20 pounds in the weight room. You know, coaches wanted to come in at about 195 pounds. He was only about 175 last year. So he's good bloodlines. His brother Jacob and his brother Travis, we know well, had great careers here at West.
3rd and 3, and again, another play led there by Andy Elsing, coming around on the near side, pressure all over up the middle. You see coming out of the pack Joe Wilson as well, and just a solid defensive stand by the Bucks.
Well, what happens is a team starts to see some of the things you do and some of your tendencies, and early in games, especially big playoff games, if you don't make good on some of those plays, like Abington Heights really had West under heels in that first quarter, but they only got 3 points out of all of that. Now West has seen it all, and they're taking everything away. If they don't have anything else in that bag to go to, it could be a long second half for them.
Do me a favor, Tom. Get me that Domino's phone number. It's timeout time. You know what that means?
It's Domino's pizza time. Call for your piping hot pizza. It's also available for school, for business, for office parties, fundraiser, and they deliver. And don't forget, you can get gift certificates now as we approach this holiday season. Go in there and get some gift certificates, give them out as gifts. It's a nice thing to do. But that Domino's pizza, good stuff.
Go ahead, John. There's a look in the sideline there, the football, and there's our Domino's Pizza timeout. And standing by, our Ventresca sideline reporter, John Price. John.
Hey, guys, I'm down here on the sideline. Greg Kinzel, who I mentioned was not going to be who could potentially not come back. He had that ice taped to his right shin. I talked to the trainer, Sean Kelly. He mentioned that it's a contusion, or a hematoma on his right shin. It will prevent him from seeing any action for the remainder of the day. Huge loss for the Bucks, guys. Back up top.
That is, but what a Brian Davis with a great recovery. Here's a super return. John Michael Janssen going a 40, the 30. He cuts inside, and it's Sean Michael Janssen on the return. Touchdown! Sean Michael Janssen.
What a great effort by Janssen. He did a nice job to field the punt. He's had trouble today. Had the punt on the last one. He fumbled there. He catches it in the air, keeps his composure, takes a big hit, is able to spin out of it, and then some blocking downfield. Dave Camburn down there shows that he also can help out. And Janssen goes the distance for the touchdown. Special teams, defense, offense, CB West doing it all. Tumulty in for the extra point to put him up 21-3 if he can make it, and it looks good.
So Tumulty has been perfect on extra points. He nails it through, and the Bucks go up 21-3. But the play that started that, Ryan Davis, the key player for the Abington Heights Comets, is also the punter. Now he's generally a guard and plays on the defensive line. Had to jump vertically. He had to get about a yard, almost a yard off the ground, one-handed, brought it down, and then miraculously, Tom, he got the punt off, and he got a pretty good punt.
That was his problem. He got
an out,
ball
he outkicked the coverage, right. And Sean Michael Janssen, what a spectacular run back on that, and that quickly. Another big play, answers for 7 points for the Bucks. They're in front 21-3. So once again, a great job by the Bucks on special teams. And once again, the Abington Heights, the fans a little bit stunned. They had their hopes built up in the first half, and the Comets were pretty much able to stay with the Bucks on the first half, challenged them on a couple of occasions, and the Bucks were able to answer with 7 points scored by Dave Gamburn. That was the score at halftime, but since the start of the second half, it has been all CB West as they continue to answer with points. Special teams, defensively and offensively, Dave Edwards with that long run, 53-yard touchdown run, and Janssen's return had to be almost 80 yards upfield. Tumulty kicks it off, and it'll go out of bounds as he's trying to kick away from Hewlett. And you wonder sometimes with a win, you might just want to drive it, pooch it down on the field.
I think he might have just missed it. He had Matt Barrett holding the ball for him because it had blown off the tee. And maybe when he approached it, he just missed it because they've kicked to him all day, and I think they've done a good job. But you're right, maybe he was trying to get to the sideline, just didn't get it all. But here we go. This CB West defense back on the field has really shored up since early in that first half when Abington Heights looked like they were having their way. But since that interception return by Dave Camberg, Abington Heights has really been stifled.
So, of course, the Bucks now without Greg Kinsel that will not see action, as John reported. The linebacking crew will miss him as the Comets will start with 3 backs off their own 35. We've got a quick whistle. And we'll see what the call is here with 8:17 to go in the third quarter. CB West 21 and Abington Heights 3. And it looks like we're going to have another Domino's timeout on the field.
Mike Pettin really getting on Andrew Hesseling. He wasn't out on the field, and they had to call timeout. They had to use a timeout. He ran out on the field, and I watched Mike down there. As you see him right there in the huddle, he was pointing at him. And, you know, as a player, when a coach starts pointing at you, that normally doesn't mean good things.
Especially in front of everybody. But, you know, I've always felt, Tom, that the football program is basically a mini corporation, and everybody's function is very well defined. And if one person misses an assignment, it certainly affects the entire production of the whole unit.
But one of the things West does well is they do all the little things well. I think they block well, they tackle well, but it's all the little things that all add up to one big thing. Like you said, one big company, one big team. And I think that's why they're so successful, because they do all the little things right.
Okay, so we'll do it again. A 1st and 10, the same formation. You see 3 backs across there, a mix-up. Kelly holds on to it, he runs, he picks up a bunch, and then he's taken down. He picks up about 6 yards, 7 yards on that play, but not a bad idea.
Yeah, he gets those 2 backs out in front of Garrity, and he just tries to get outside. He tries to cut back field, but I don't think he's I don't think they're going to make a lot of noise doing that. I think it's a nice play there, and he got a lot of yardage at it, but it's not something they're going to be able to do consistently against his defense.
Considering he's 170 pounds, it's risky business, so to speak, going against that awesome defensive line of the Bucks, and of course those very punishing linebackers. Here it is, 2nd and 2, and somebody's offsides, and that'll probably be called against. Now the Bucks are pointing towards the Comets, and it is. So once again, A little miscue at the line of scrimmage is going to cost Abington Heights. And you can see little by little the comments, things not going their way. The quarterback, Chris Kelly, is a junior. He'll be back. One of his favorite targets, Joe Brooks, is a junior. We mentioned Dave Camburn, a sophomore. A lot of good young players playing key roles in this here playoff game. Certainly look forward to coming back and becoming leaders for their respective schools. 7:27 to go here in the third. Kelly again, the handoff. Hewlett is stamped, and stamped by about 4 Central Bucks defenders.
I'll tell you, Callahan has had a huge day. 84, he's playing middle linebacker. Does a great job to scrape down and then fill. And there he's able to get over to the hole, and just as Hewlett hits it, it looks like he's going to make a cut off it or make a move into the secondary. Callahan stands him straight up and drives him back. You got to love that play.
Edwards, Buckley, and Blumgren all joining the party on that tackle. Under 6 minutes to go. 3rd and 4. There is, whoa, John Torr and 44 coming out of there. Who's that? Angelo Polina, another guy who's been having a perfect afternoon.
He came unblocked. I don't know if his guy fell down or what, but it almost as the ball was snapped, he was in the backfield. They're lucky that I didn't turn the ball over, and West is going to get the ball back and probably get it in good field position.
So again, Brian Davis will punt. And there's the high snap. He was able to save it the last time. He'll kick it into the end zone. There'll be a penalty, and we'll see what this will be called. I don't know if that's a safety or what that would be called.
Well, he did the right thing, because if he falls on it there, West is going to get the ball right there. And you figure it's maybe an instant 7 points. He's probably going to get penalized for illegally kicking the ball, but all he's going to do is give up 7 points. So a real, honest-to-God, heads-up play by number 64, Brian Davis, one of the captains here. And that ball wasn't even close to being catchable. I mean, it was 3 feet over his head.
Well, we saw the last time what happened. He had to reach up and grab it, but there was just no way. That ball was so high off the mark. There's no way that Brian could have brought that down. But once again, if you look at the comments, the special teams seem to be the area where they have been exposed and have been most vulnerable. And at this late stage of the game, you know, you hope you're able to be able to get the ball to your punter so that he could get it back upfield. And
so they declined the penalty, which was illegally kicking the ball. They're going to take the safety, but on a safety, it's a free kick. They can kick off or punt. I believe it's from the 20 or 25 yard line, and West is going to get the ball back. So they really no damage to them. It's really the punt over again, but they get 2 points on top of it. So the score goes to 23-3 here with 6:06 to go in this third quarter, and they will have a free kick from the 20-yard line. Looks like they're going to put it on a tee, so it'll be a kickoff style kick, and it looks like 82. I think that's Adam Smith who would do the kickoff. But West is going to get the ball probably here in great field position.
So once again, special teams creating that play and answering with 2 points. So the Bucks increase their lead to 23-3. Here's a kick, and it's going to go out of bounds. And will they stake it at the 50, or will it be another 10 yards tacked on, a penalty? We'll have to see here. 5:06 left to go here in the third quarter, and it's been all CB West from the start of the second half of play. The score at halftime, CB West was in front 7-3. They've come up with 16 points to increase that lead to 23-3. And standing by on the sideline, our Ventresca sideline reporter, John Price. John, come in.
Yeah, once again, a huge thank you to Ventresca's. This was a team here on the field, the West offense, that really was known for the long time-consuming drives. Today, though, they're the big play Bucks. The second half, the 2 big plays have kind of demoralized the Abington Heights team, and you don't want to make a mistake like they just made. You will not be able to rebound. Back up to the booth.
1st and 10 from their own 49. Oriel taking 1 receiver. Far side, 2 backs. Long count. Right up the middle. couple of hits. Picciotti squirms up for a couple, about 3-4 yards.
Picciotti had about 50 yards, I believe, in the first half, but you got to give Abington Heights some credit. They really took away that big play that Picciotti has been able to provide. But again, what happens is as a defensive team, you can't forget about everybody else. You can't forget about Dave Edwards and Oriole and some of the other players, and that's kind of what's happened. But again, they're special teams for you and have killed them.
Chris Jenkins and Kevin Manning, the two big stoppers on that defensive line for the Comets. Here's Oriole again, a handoff, fake handoff. He has it, being pursued. Hewlett fires it, and this time it's complete. Upfield, and it looks like it's Sean Michael Janssen with the reception at the 25-yard line, and that is a good passing play under pressure.
Mike Oriole, nice job. It's just it's a flood pattern. They get 3 guys out there, 1 at 5, 1 at 7, 1 at 15. Janssen's free, and Oriole does a nice job to float that ball, let him catch it on the run, and a big first down. I tell you, Mike Oriole's got a bright future ahead of him. Comes from a bloodline of brothers that played some Division I football as quarterbacks, so I'm sure he gets told when he gets home, you should do this, you should do that. But well, great kid. He's another kid I had an opportunity to coach him, not in football, but in basketball, but great competitor.
First down from the Comets 25, the Bucks on the march, in motion, Buckley to the near side. Pitch off again, hit from behind, and a good penetration coming up there for the Comets, Ryan Verano. And that was, so that time, a big defensive play for the Comets. As time continues to march on, we're under 4.5 minutes left in the third quarter.
And that's what you got to do when a team's got you down on your, kind of got you on your heels. You got to be the guy that make a big play. And as a defensive coach, you got to say, okay, I'm going to pick a guy and pick a hole and send him in that gap and hope I'm guessing right, and they do there. So a big play on first down to get them for a loss.
So in the backfield, Edwards and Picciotti, 2nd and 11. Here it is, pass again to the outside, in and out of the hands and right in the numbers, as Dave Edwards might have taken his eye momentarily off the ball and just didn't grasp it once he had it, but a perfectly thrown ball.
They tell you to catch a ball with your hands. He tried to get it against his chest and his pads, and what happens, the ball come off of that and bounce up, and that's what happened. He actually came down with the ball out of bounds. He just didn't have possession inbounds, and they rule it incomplete.
So the Bucks will have another go at it as time is on their side. Under 4 minutes to go. From the 26, 2nd and 11. Sean Michael Janssen, receiver on the near side. Pressure again. Oriole is tripped up, and a stop there by Corey Lepisco.
He had guys open. It just didn't. He got pressured by Lepisco early, and Lepisco's made some good plays, big plays. That was a big play for him there because he had guys open. If he doesn't make that play, I think
a touchdown. That's
Oriole's going to find somebody open.
Corey Lepisco coming up with a stop, but also getting underneath penetration, starting that whole surge, Chris Jenkins. And that's the big guy that our program tells us 295. Now that was in August he was weighed. We didn't get his November weight yet, but anyhow.
Especially after Thanksgiving, right?
There you go. Here's again Oriole, lots of time. He fires, a little bit short, intended for Ortiz. Chris Ortiz had some nice room down on the near side, but the ball thrown just a little bit behind him and low.
Mike Pettin jumped up off the ground, took his hat off, and swatted it down on the ground. He was so mad. He was so wide open. And that's a tough play for a young kid. He's rolling left. He's right-handed. And if you don't square your shoulders and get your hips and everything right, it's tough to throw the ball in the wind in a windy day. He bounces it in front of Ortiz, and he's upset. But, he's got to be happy where he's at, 23-3 with 3 minutes to go in this third quarter.
So the Comets take over on downs at their 30. The pitch back. Here's a reverse on the far side, and a ball carrier. It's Joe Brooks. Brooks will not get, and he runs into an army of black jerseys and gets taken down for a loss on the play.
You know, those plays a lot of times work in, the pee-wees and the weight ball, but you run a reverse generally, and Billy Stoney's coming off the field, number 14. Great job. You hear the term all the time, stayed home. When they run a play away from you. If you're the backside end or the corner, you're taught to get as deep as the deepest guy in the backfield, and if anything comes back, you're there. He did just that, and Brooks runs right into him, and a host of West players help out. Great defensive play.
2nd and 12. They're showing 2 receivers. They go to the far side again, but the Bucks haven't carried, and another loss. Another loss on their pit. A loss of another 4 yards on the play, 3 or 4. So defense pushing him back, and we have an injury. And down there for the Bucks, it looks like it's Matt Showalter. Showalter might have a leg injury.
Yeah, he's down. Either that or he got the wind knocked out of him. But I'll tell you what, he's not moving right now, so we'll hope that maybe that's all it is.
2:12 left to go in the 3rd quarter. The Bucks in front, 23-3. It was a very tight first half, a very close first half. 2 teams that have matched up pretty evenly physically in the first half and in terms of moving the ball. But in the second half, depth has been on the side of the Bucks. Special teams, defense, and offense have all responded for points, touchdowns, picking up a safety on a broken special teams play, and that is the difference, 23-3. As we're in for another Domino's timeout, an injury timeout this time.
Yeah, you got to get down there to that Domino's. We talked about it earlier. Not only can you go over there with your family, but you can go over there and get pizzas for school, for business, for office parties, fundraisers, and they deliver. And don't forget, this holiday season coming up, you can get over there and get some gift certificates, Pizza Hut, and you give them out as gifts, hang them on the tree, put them in stockings. Great idea for gifts. So get down there to that local Domino's of yours.
And you speak of holiday season, Tom, everybody's kind of crunched for time, out there shopping, running around. You want to keep in mind, folks, sometimes you just don't have the energy or the time to cook dinner. Turn to your good friends at Domino's, who are our loyal supporters of Tri-State Media, who bring you the CB West playoff games, courtesy of all our generous sponsors, including Ventrescus, Video Computer Store, and all the great people in our community that support these games. And we mentioned, Tom, the winner of this afternoon's contest will face Parkland High School next week. Now, Parkland upsetting, some say, over Cumberland Valley. So
yeah, 41-14. I mean, it wasn't like it was a close game. I don't know the details of it. As Showalter's up and looks like he's okay. I can't tell if it's his knee or his leg, but a lot of times on a play it was a play kind of thrown out to the flat, and the guy cuts back against the grain. A lot of times you get hit or fall going the wrong way. You're going right and your knee's going left, and it gives out on you, but he looks like he's going to be okay.
Yeah, Matt Showalter, he's a tough kid. He's only a junior. He'll be back next year. Key member of that linebacker core, and man, when they smell a target, they hone in quickly. And it has been what's happening here in the second half. Approaching 2 minutes of the 3rd quarter, and you see the in motion. Brooks goes to the far side, and of course Kelly back there. He fires down all the way down that far sideline, and a great defensive play in the secondary, and that's Dave Edwards.
What they did is they run a guy in motion. He gets out to the sideline and runs straight up the sideline, hoping somebody's going to forget about him. But Edwards does a great job to just run with him. As the ball gets there, he puts his hand up and bats it away. And here comes that long snap on the punt again. It's funny. The punter just looked back to see where the end zone was.
Exactly. It's not a bad idea. Maybe he's thinking I should back up maybe another 4 yards. Instead of taking it 13, I should take it about 20. Comes the snap. This time it's on the money. Davis gets a pretty good foot on it to the far side, and they're going to let it go out of bounds. Actually, it was kicked out of bounds. I don't think he intended it to kick it out that close to his bench. I think he wanted to make it go a little bit further down the far sideline and kick it out of bounds so as to avoid a return.
They're actually...
And standing by is John Price with his Ventresca tie for an injury report. John?
You hopefully can see Showalter on the sideline, number 50. He was just running up and down the sideline trying to loosen up his hip. Turned out one of the players in the field had his knee run up his hip and up into the side of his stomach, where you can see the trainer Sean Kelly looking at now. But it looks like he was able to run on it, and doesn't look like he'll have any problem getting back in. Back up to you guys, Florian and Tom.
Thanks, John. The Bucks take over on the Comets 37, and we see the Bucks trying to move things on the ground, but the Comets will have a say. Leading that defensive stop back there for the Comets, Dan Girardi. He's had a pretty good game this afternoon, both offensively and defensively.
Phil DiGiacomo in there, number 12 at that tailback spot, giving Edwards a blow, and that's a good idea. You don't lose anything with Phil in there. Good tailback. Again, really good athlete, only a sophomore, and he can do some great things with the ball.
Picking up some, there's the pitch to Giacomo Picciotti, and he's going to look to throw, and what a nice play, intended for Janssen.
What a throw! What a throw! I'm telling you, that's a big-time throw. He threw that ball 50 yards in the air and hit him on the dime.
On the money, a touchdown. Sean Michael Janssen's second of the afternoon. It was the punt return, his first, that time a reception from Phil DiGiacomo.
I'll tell you, Phil came in the season as a sophomore, and they were looking at Phil as one of the quarterbacks. And as it turned out, they decided to put him back at tailback because he's such a good back. But you can see why. This kid is such an athlete. That's a major league throw right there for 6.
And Coach Pettin continues, and here's the extra point. Tumulty's kick, it's up, it's perfect, and it's good. So, the Bucks go up 30-3 on that wonderfully designed play. And Tom, we talk about a team that might have some weapons, some unexpected weapons in their arsenal. We're certainly getting a show of them here in the second half.
Well, you gotta love it because he got out there and he did a great job. He makes the play this way because it looks like a pitch and he's gonna run the ball, and he showed run initially, which really freezes the linebackers in the defense, and then he comes up throwing. Good pressure at the very end, and he's able to throw the ball and get a lot on it with somebody in his face. And Phil, I know his mom and dad are proud of him. People from the area know his dad, Phil DiGiacomo, and he's probably going to be embarrassed that I say this, but it's to his credit. Great kid. But Phil himself, his dad was All-American player at Archbishop Wood and played at Georgia Tech.
There's our Barb Lynn Carpet 1 scoreboard. CB West 30, Abington Heights 3. Congratulations, Phil DiGiacomo. Here's the kickoff, and it's a pooch kick, a high and a short one. Going to be taken, and it's going to be fielded down just at the 36-yard line. So quick reaction there by the Abington Heights Comets, but what a great play. And not to mention, I don't know if we'll get a chance to look at it again though, Tom, but Sean Michael Janssen, what great concentration. Now, he did have a D-back on him, but the ball was so well thrown that it was away from the defender. But Sean Michael Janssen had to look back, and of course, the sunshine, he had to make the judgment with the wind. What a great reception, and of course, doing a great job of getting downfield quickly. So it's a 1st and 10 at the 37. The Comets keep it on the ground, and away they go. Here's their main man, Hewlett, for a first down and more. He's going down to far sideline, finally taken down, and a great tackle by Dave Camburn, but it was Dave Edwards in pursuit. But a great pickup, and no surprise that the Comets have gone to good old number 19.
Well, I'm surprised. I got to tell you, I'm surprised they went away from that earlier. Even in the end of the second half and early in as we get to the end of this third quarter, 48 seconds to go, we haven't seen that bread and butter play, all kinds of passes and trick plays. That's not what got you here. This is the kind of thing that got you here.
So a substantial pickup there by Hewlett. Here's another running play right up the middle, and a huge hit coming up by the Bucks defensively. As that time they read it, and once again it's Callahan coming up. He has been having, I'd say, the last couple of games that I've had a chance to see CB West, 84 is always around making something happen.
Really pursues the ball well, and he squares and tackles people as well as anybody I've seen in the league, and having a huge year playing linebacker. But again, on first down, they still got 3.5, 4 yards, and I'm really surprised that they went away from that this kind of game.
So last play here of the third quarter coming up. Brooks in motion to the far side. Pitch out again. Here's Hewlett. He's going to be stopped. Really pushed all the way back. A great defensive pursuit. And leading the way defensively for the Bucks, Angelo Polina.
Polina and Edwards in there again.
Well, that'll do it. That's the end of the third quarter. We'll be back with the fourth and final quarter of football coming up right after these words on your home for PIAA Championship Football, Tri-State Media.
Versatility, security, with 4 doors for adventure. This is the 1998 Chevy Venture at A&T Chevrolet of Sellersville. Designed with comfort and roominess for mom and dad, for the kids, integral child safety seats and cup holders. A&T has a large selection of dependable Chevy Ventures in stock, with rates as low as 1.9%. And for a limited time, get a 3-year, 36,000-mile Smart Care plan included with each new 98 Chevy Venture. Offer expires May 23rd. So hurry into A&T Chevrolet of Sellersville today.
Council Rock High School, the Barb Lynn Carpet One scoreboard tells the story. 30-3 the Bucks, as you just saw the first play of the fourth quarter. The Bucks in front, 30-3, and they continue to get things rolling here in the late in the second half.
I'll tell you, Andrew Elsling has just really had a terrific year. Junior, about 6'2", 185 pounds, just lightning quick from his DN spot. There he chases down Kelly, and a big play on third down, and it's going to put him at 4th and maybe 19, I'm going to guess. He's got 18 up there on the scoreboard, but a big play, and Abington Heights needs some big play here to get out of this hole, 4th and 18.
Kelly again gets the pass out to the near side to Lepisco. He throws it down, and Hewlett was covered nicely there by Ryan Blumgren, and Ryan, well-disciplined defense, had position, did not raise his hands, no chance of a penalty being called, but not a bad idea, not a badly designed play there by the Comets.
Throws it out to him and did a nice job to get the ball up the field, but Ryan had great coverage on him, was inside out. Even when Hewlett tried to adjust to the ball, Ryan was right there. He couldn't adjust back to the ball, so he had great positioning. And West is going to get this ball back. On their own 34, they take over on downs. They're showing 2 receivers, Chris Ortiz and Janssen, out to the near side. 2 backs. Oriel again. Handle right up the middle. Dustin Picciotti loses the football, and it's recovered by Abington Heights that quickly. I don't know what happened. There might have been a hit, but quickly recovered, and it looks like picking it up might have been Jeff Ciani. Actually, it was Verano. So Ryan Verano on the recovery. And let's take a look at our replay. Ventresca replay. He just gets into the middle of that line. He tries to make a little adjustment, tries to cut back, and you see the defensive guy just get his hand in there, and the ball comes popping out. We got to thank Ventresca's Custom Clothing and Formal Wear for that advertisement, our slow-mo replay. So Chris Kelly now just completes a pass to Joe Brooks on the near side. And Buckley comes up with the stop, but the Comets pick up a pretty good pickup. Pick up 9 yards on the play, so they'll be looking at a 2nd and 1 from the 30-yard line. So what a quick turnover, nobody expecting the ball to come out loose. But again, receivers, 2 on the far side, Smith on the near side. Kelly handoff, Hewlett tries to run through the middle, and of course he stopped. Not much of a pickup there. I'm sure he stopped short. Looks like he stopped short of the first down. Based on the spot, looks like he's about a half a yard short. You got to like Hewitt, though. He runs hard, even down 30-3. He's playing hard. 9:55 and running here in this fourth quarter. But I'll tell you, the third quarter of doom for Abington Heights, a 7-3 halftime game, and the wheels fell off in that third quarter. 23 points. Yeah, 23 points. Joe Brooks being substitute, obviously looks like he's got a sore right shoulder.
And you see Chris Kelly sprinting back and forth the sideline, getting the plays. Coach Greg Justaff in his 4th year. It's really turned the program around. There's a handoff play. Hewlett just keeps going again. This time it looks like he picks up the first down, and he does.
Yeah, he runs hard, ran right into the back of his lineman and kept the feet chugging and was able to slide into the middle of the field and pick up that first down.
And we mentioned that's some big boys on that offensive line. Chris Jenkins at 295, he's number 71. Adam Smith at number 82 is at 190, is a tight end. And then you've got Kevin Manning at 280. At least that's what they tell us. So it's a 1st and 10 from the 26. Kelly again fakes the handoff, under pressure, fires, and gets the pass is caught by Smith. Now Smith catches the ball down at the 17-yard line. So a good desperation throw there by Chris Kelly, and an effective one.
Yeah, I'll tell you, had somebody in his face, was able to get rid of the ball. Here's the replay. He just barely get it off, and Edwards is right there. He gets his hand in, but isn't able to knock it down. A great concentration on the part of Adam Smith to bring it in, and it looks like it's going to be second and about 2. So a good heads-up play, and Abington Heights just trying to keep going here.
Here's the handoff again. Hewlett left to tackle. He tries to run through, but holding on for dear life, Sean Michael Janssen. What an afternoon that young man has had. Both sides, 2 touchdowns, a host of good plays, one of them coming up with a nice ankle wraparound tackle.
Well, Abington Heights is, they haven't quit, down 30-3, keeping this drive going with some big plays on 2nd and 3rd down. Get the first down here, keep it going. 7:55 to go and counting in this 4th quarter. Trying to get some points.
2 receivers on the far side, split. Smith on the near side. There's the handoff again, right through traffic, and in for the touchdown is Hewlett. So Derek Hewlett picks up the first down for the Comets this afternoon with 7:42 to go in the game. A 9-yard run.
And that play has been so effective for him. It's just a power eye. They run the fullback right, show power that way, and he counters back, and he's had some success with it. There he goes off tackle and gets the touchdown. Angel Polina down on the field right now. They've got the trainer out there looking at him.
Talked about this game being a physical contest between these 2 schools, and indeed here in the second half we've seen players from both teams feeling the effects of that intense physical play in this here PIAA quarterfinal, Quad A, I should say Eastern semifinal playoff game between these 2 great schools, and the winner next week faces Parkland. A couple of upsets there in central Pennsylvania. It's Cumberland Valley defeating Central Dauphin, kind of a surprise, and everyone pretty much expected Cumberland Valley to march on, and obviously they were stopped by Parkland.
Yeah, everybody was kind of looking forward to a rematch. I know Central Dauphin was, but I think they looked past this Abington Heights team. Actually, they looked past Cumberland Valley, I think they lost to.
That's right. Okay, so it'll be Sean Hare, a sophomore, to attempt the extra point. He responded with a field goal in the first half, the first points of the game, and does he get it over? He does. Somehow he gets it over under a lot of pressure. Not a clean hit, but nonetheless a good one, and it counts.
Well, you got to give him credit, down 30-3 after the turnover. A nice mixture of run and pass, and on 4th down, you know, they were able to make the play and get the first down, and then couple nice runs by Hewitt, was able to punch it in. Still down 20 points here with 7 minutes to go. Be interesting to see if they kick off here, or
yeah, I think
maybe
we're going to see it on sides. Yeah, I'm pretty sure we're going to see it. There's our Barb Lynn Carpet One scoreboard, 30-10. Central Bucks West in front by 20 points. So the Bucks continue to show their dominance here on a Thanksgiving weekend, and on behalf of Tri-State Media, we wish everyone a very happy, safe holiday, and wish you all the best in the coming holidays as we all get ready for our annual end-of-the-year celebrations. We want to mention also Our sponsors, if you want to sponsor any of these fantastic playoff games, Radius. Radius Communications, that's the contact. There are the people that take care of our fine sponsors of all our award-winning programming here, sports coverage on Tri-State Media. And we've got a phone number there, Tom.
It's 340-5001 to make your cable connection.
That's it. Radius Communications. 7:39, the onsides kick. Recovered there by the Bucks, and the Bucks will start just on their side of midfield. We've got 7:39 left to go in the game, 30-10. Gorgeous afternoon. Glad you could join us here on Tri-State Media as we take a look. So it'll be a 1st and 10 from the 44. 2 receivers again out to the near side. Couple of backs. Hey, look, there's the pass. Chris Ortiz, this time a little bit low. The officials there will see, did he catch it?
They're saying no, and it's one guy said no, and the other guy said yes. So let's see what they decide.
So it'll be interesting. And of course, Chris Ortiz in that formation out there with Brian Callahan.
They're going to call it complete. West was probably hoping it was incomplete.
Because it's a loss.
It's a loss.
Behind the line of scrimmage, so it'll be a 2nd and 13 coming up from the 41-yard line.
And here's a replay. Here they just throw the ball out. There to the flat. He goes down to the ground. It was a low pass. He did a nice job to try to dig it up, and he did. But again, he's down on his knees, and that puts you
Another
puts you down.
Yeah, Ventresca slow-mo replay. Chris Ortiz in motion. Coming back, fake. Oriole has it, rolling out to his left. Fires high for Chris Ortiz. No! Just a little bit out of reach, but again, it's the 3rd time this afternoon Chris Ortiz has been isolated in a situation where he could have made the pass, and it's either been the pass has been a little bit off, or he didn't have his body in the correct position to make the reception. Chris Ortiz doing a great job this afternoon getting into position to pick up the pass.
The wind is kind of blowing across the field that way. So, I don't know, it appeared to me when he put that ball up in the air, it kind of just carried, kind of sailed a little bit.
So it'll be a 3rd and 13 coming up from the 41. Substitution coming up there for the Abington Heights Comets. Chris Jenkins leaves the game. Receiver stacked on the near side. Oriole rolls out, a little pressure, and he finally dumps it off to Dustin Pachani. Loses the ball, was hit, and a great series of defensive plays for the Abington Heights Comets. Almost wins him the ball, but it was Corey Lepisco getting a hold of Oriole's jersey and creating that nice defensive play for the Comets.
He did a nice job, a lot of pressure. Mike Oriole, good poise, was able to get the ball off to Pachati. Just as he catches the ball, he got stuck and dropped it. Official right on it, as you see the replay there, Ventresca's replay, and official right on it says incomplete, never had possession, and West is going to have to punt for the first time during the 2nd half.
Donald gets a punt, nice one into the wind. Take it, Hewlett. Uh-oh, what's he do now? Runs outside and is taken down. Great pursuit by the Bucks. That is perfect punt coverage by the CB West Bucks.
Yeah, Hewitt tried to go sideways, and anytime you run sideways towards the sideline and you got guys pursuing you, it's tough to get out of there. Good coverage. And this Abington Heights has got the ball back. You got to light their courage here. 6:38 to go, trailing 30-10. They need a couple quick scores.
Dave Edwards, the leader downfield on that play. So again, they'll start from their own 20. Just over 5.5 minutes left to go. Running play up the middle, stopped, and Callahan is one of them. Buckley is there. It's a whole group of them. You also see number 44, Angelo Polina. He's been there all afternoon with his teammates. Another great defensive stop.
Wilson in there also, number 76. I think that's Joe Wilson. Playing both ways, offense and defense.
So it'll be a 2nd and 9, a pickup of about 1 on that. An expensive 1 yard. Receivers split. Now you have motion. Smith comes across. Kelly has some time. Pressure now. Fires it quick into the hands of Smith. And a great defensive play made by the Bucks. And that is Billy Stone.
Billy Stone, good job. Right there in his hip pocket as the ball arrives, he separates him from the ball.
Good timing by Stone, when to step in and make the play.
It's like big number 71, Chris Jenkins, down on the field.
He's had a busy afternoon.
Takes up about 4 yards out there.
Out there.
He is big.
And we mentioned Abington Heights for many years. It was a team that struggled to have a winning record, and then over the last 4 years they were able to win their area, but they never had much success when it came to playoffs. It seems like they always froze up, and there was one hurdle that they've really struggled, but under the direction of Greg Justave, their new coach, in 4 years he's carried him to this point. And by what they've shown us here this afternoon, Tom, I mean, it's obvious that they're a team that has certainly matured and a team that has a lot of talented young players coming back, so things look good for them for next year.
Well, you know, this is a whole different season when you enter into this playoff format. I mean, it's one thing to go through, and most of the teams that make it usually have one loss, sometimes no losses. And you enter into this playoff format, it's really different. I mean, there's a lot of pressure, and you're really challenged as a coaching staff to put together a totally different game plan offensively and defensively, because if you come in and try to do what you did all year, most of the teams have seen either on tape, and they're going to take away some of the basic things. Like today, Abington Heights took away Pachotti.
That's right.
But I think West has answered with Edwards. They answered with Phil DiGiacomo. The defense has come up big. But you get into this playoff format, it is really a challenge for everybody, and I think Abington Heights is finding that out today.
So Chris Jenkins being helped off the field. Now, if he's had a strong afternoon, and it looks like he's got a leg injury, possibly a knee injury, and that is going to be a severe loss for the Abington Heights Comets. Let's see how they respond to that. They're a team that has shown a lot of heart and character. Two receivers lined up on the far side. Kelly's move, there's a handoff, the ball comes up the middle, Hewlett runs, and he's about 2-3 yards short of the first down. But once again, the heart, the character, and the hustle there for the Comets.
Yeah, Hewitt, you got to love his courage, because down 20 points, he's shown that he hasn't quit on any play, running hard. And there, first down, he gets 6-7 yards.
Now, speaking of yards, there's something that are...
Well, actually, excuse me, that was on third down. It's now fourth down.
Fourth down and short, so 4th and 2. Hewlett during the season picked up 1,591 yards, 29 touchdowns.
And they're going for it.
One receiver to the far side. Running play again. The offensive line pushes him back. The defense again of the Bucks gets the job done. No first down, and the Bucks will take over on downs.
And that big offensive line struts out onto the field. Let's give them some credit today. Florian,
that's right.
Big number 79. Everybody knows Ben Garber out there leads that big line. Also John Wilson, Joe Wilson, Bobby Bowser out there, number 68, doing a great job. Just a real big offensive line. And you know what? I think they really love the fact that they can go out there and do as well as they do. Havener, the big center, he was just switched there a couple weeks ago, doing a great job.
So the Bucks changed quarterbacks. Billy Stone is in there. Quick handoff again. Here's Dustin Pachotti. Off he goes. Pachotti's got nobody. He's tripped up. He goes into the end zone. Dustin Pachotti on the handoff from Bill Stone.
Well, just when we were saying that Abington Heights had stopped him, I think Pachotti probably feels he's had kind of an off day, but it's really been a credit to the Abington Heights defense, really bottled him up. But there he just ran possessed, got tripped up, but great balance. Looked like he was going to fall at the 5, but just was able to keep himself up and dive into the end zone. And this CB West team is just really showing their strength now.
And Bill Stone will hold for Bob Tumulty. There's the snap, the hold, the kick is up, and it's good. It just gets it over, and that's all that matters. It counts, it's good. And the Bucks increase their lead to 37-10. One play. They come in, And that's what happens. There's a shot of the Bucks fans. They've been entertained here this afternoon. You look at the scoreboard now, our Barb Lynn Carpet 1 scoreboard, 37-10. It was not like that all game. The first half, especially the first quarter, was quite challenging for the Bucks. As we look back a year ago at Hershey against Central Dauphin, at one point I think they had a 3-touchdown lead. And the Bucks, things did not look good, but in true character and class and style, Coach Pettin knows his players perhaps better than anyone. Rallied them at halftime, and they've probably had given us one of the most fantastic comebacks of the entire CB West High School football history.
Well, now there's some of the younger guys. Let's see if we can get some of these names on here. Some of these guys getting to play in a state playoff game on the kickoff here.
So the ball goes out of bounds. Now, I just don't know if the Comets might have touched it on the far side. I don't know if Mike Fortiani might have gotten a hand on it, but the ball does go out. The referee is showing that it's at about the 7. Now standing by for a Ventresca report, John Price. John?
Yeah, guys, I promised these ball boys from West all season long I'd talk about them, and I owe it to them since I've gotten them in trouble a couple times. They've been a huge resource to me over the course of the season, gauging the dryness of the field and the ball conditions also. But it's their last year. This is their swan song. It's Mike Tesno, a 2-year veteran, and also Dean Bowser, who's been doing this for a year and a half. They said that the thing they're going to miss most is being on the field. I'll send it back up to you guys.
Great job, John. Hi, guys. Congratulations. Thanks for your help for another Ventresca sideline report.
Michael Tesno played on our CYO team this year. He's quite a little football player. We'll see him out here playing for West someday.
Great. Congratulations, guys, and we wish you and your families a very happy Thanksgiving. And as Coach Tom White says, we look forward to seeing you here in the near future and mentioning your name again on Tri-State Media.
His dad, Bill Tesno, one of the coaches for CB West.
So 4:45 left to go in this afternoon's contest. So for the Bucks, they will be facing Parkland High School next week. We understand that game is at Neshaminy High School.
Some of the coaches that put in a lot of their time here in this program, obviously everybody knows Coach Mike Pettin. You got Mike Carey, the assistant head coach, Bill Tesno, Brian Rush, Kerry Monk, Chris Cleland, Joe Hallman, the weight trainer, does a great job, Joe Schmidt, John Ratsky, Mike Stafford, and not listed Steve Mangle, who travels quite a ways from Maryland to be here on the weekends to help coach. So a great group of guys and do a great job with these kids.
On behalf of all the CB West fans and friends of the program and people that have channel surfed and have stayed with us to enjoy these entertaining football games, we appreciate the dedication of the coaches, the parents, and everybody that has made this program truly, and I feel, one of the better programs in the country. 2nd and 7. Not much on that running play as the Bucks defense continues to stay strong here in the closing minutes of the game. Gorgeous, mild, late November afternoon here at Council Rock High School. Great crowd, a sellout crowd on hand.
Some of the guys in there now, number 13, Pat Jarrett playing linebacker. Drew Tillman in there, Phil DiGiacomo in there, Matt Barrett. Some of the younger guys in the game for West. Ted Kenyon in there, number 24, playing safety.
Good go.
Tackle on the far side, running play again, stopped, and of course the Bucks keep the Comets from getting at that first down.
Justin McConnell in there, number 43. And West is held, the second team is held with 3:04 to go. Florian, West is going to get this football back. We'll see some of the younger guys maybe on offense.
Here comes the snap again to Brian Davis, the punter. Davis gets it, it's in front of his goal line, kicks it away from the return man. It's going to be fielded on the near side and recovered, handled nicely there by the Bucks, Phil DiGiacomo on the return. So DiGiacomo takes it out to the sideline, and again, the Bucks will have excellent field position with 2:45 left to go in this afternoon's contest.
get some of these young guys on. Number 73, not listed in the program, so I apologize. Also 60, Drew Kent in there. Looks like he's going to be our center. 86 is Dave Robbins.
Doug Bode looks like he'll be a receiver on the far side.
Matt Barrett in the backfield along with Phil DiGiacomo.
Bill Stone, the quarterback. So a 1st and 10 from the Comets 33. The Bucks with the ball. It's a handoff. Running up the middle again to Giacomo. Picks up 4, 5, 6 yards on the play.
Showalter's in there. He's actually the center. Number 51, Jeff Mitski, also in there.
Ball at the 26-yard line. It'll be a 2nd and 4, so a nice pickup, nice 6 yards on the play. Stone again. Couple of backs. This time it goes to the second one, a huge opening, and that's Matt Barrett. So Matt Barrett lunges forward and then some extra for that 1st down.
Matt Barrett, a senior, probably love to see him as a senior, maybe get some points here. Don't want to run up the score, but if you're running the ball and he's able to sneak one in, it would be nice for him.
So we're within the final 2 minutes. The Bucks pick up a 1st down. They're in front 37-10. They'll be looking forward to playing Parkland High School next week. Check your papers for the time. Game is scheduled to be played at Neshaminy High School. Billy Stone, the quarterback. Long snap count. Takes it, keeps it, hands it off. Running play up front. Nice pickup by the Bucks on the play. Damian Smith with a nice pickup.
Abington Heights with a bunch of guys in the game. Mike Trudak in there at D-line, 53. Rob Katorkis, 81 in the game. Scott Chrisman getting some of these younger guys some playing time.
So we're in the final minute. 2nd and 4 for the Bucks. The ball is at the 11-yard line. And Stone kneels down on it. And the clock ticks. And the Bucks fans rise to congratulate their team on another battle. One step closer, Tom, to that championship game as the clock continues to approach the final 30 seconds. Standing back deep, Matt Barrett. And Stone kneels on it, and that'll do it. So the final 20 seconds will expire. Congratulations to the CB West Bucks. They will have defeated the Abington Heights Comets by a score of 37-10 in another fine display of championship football. There it is. Our Barb Lynn Carpet One scoreboard tells you the final story. CB West 37, Abington Heights 10. Stay tuned. We'll be back with our Tri-State Media post-game show coming up right after these few words on your home for PIAA Championship Football, Tri-State Media.
Don't touch that dial. Run, don't walk. It's the largest selections of Subarus. Everything is happening right now only at A&T Subaru of Sellersville. Come in and test drive the Subaru Forester, rugged and dependable, or the cool, sporty Outback. A&T has large selections of Outbacks, Foresters, Imprezas, and the all-new 99 Sport Utility Sedan, all in stock now for immediate delivery. Stop in now and get the best deals on the planet. That's A&T Subaru of Sellersville, the best deals and selections on Subarus in Pennsylvania.
welcome back to Council Rock High School for the Video Computer Store post-game show. Congratulations, the Bucks of Central Bucks West defeat the Abington Heights Comets by a score of 37-10 with Tom White and John Price. I'm Florian Kempf, and Tom, special thanks to our generous sponsor.
Yeah, the Video Computer Store for discounts up to 70% off on reconditioned personal computers. All Pentium 2 systems. Call 1-800-600-8005, extension 2201, or visit their new location just 10 miles north of Doylestown in Pipersville. The Video Computer Store, the only place for all your computer needs.
Okay, standing by, John Price with a special guest. John.
Yeah, I got big Chris Havener here, number 72, solid senior center. Chris, this is only the last couple games that you've been at center. Has the transition been as easy as you've made it look?
After the first few games, I kind of got settled in. Now I'm feeling real comfortable with the position, so hopefully we can take it all the way through the playoffs.
Well, huge congratulations to you and the team. What was the difference between the first half and the second half?
Well, I think we came out flat in the first half. I mean, after a couple big wins over North Penn and Norristown, we weren't as fired up as we were, so they gave us a real wake-up call. They came out and they really deserved it in the first half. I think they had more emotion. So we went in the locker room and thought about what we did, and we came out more fired up. And we had a good effort in the second half, but it was still a real sloppy, ugly game. We didn't play the typical kind of smash-mouth driving football that we like to.
A lot of people were talking about the size between the two teams being so similar and how West might have had his hands full. How did you feel during the course of the game as far as matching up against those bigger guys from Abington Heights?
Well, I'd prefer to go against the bigger guy, big, slow guy, and try to beat up on him rather than some guy who's going to try to run around me. So I felt that we matched up well. It was a challenge to go up against somebody with similar size, though.
Chris Havener, you've had an outstanding season all year long, recognized by a lot of the people in the area. So thanks a lot for joining us, and once again, congratulations. We look forward to seeing you next week. Back up to you guys.
Good job, John, and you're looking good with that Ventresca tie. And Tom, pretty much Chris told us the story. Surprisingly, Abington Heights gets the first points of the game. It was a long first half, so to speak, for the CB West Bucks, but it was all the third quarter that made the difference in the game.
Yeah, it was a third quarter of doom, if you want to call it, for them. 23 points, 7-3 at half, 30-3 at the end of that third quarter. And, you know, the special teams for CB West really came up big. Abington Heights hurt themselves. The snap over the head, those type of things really hurt them. But the punt return, the snap over the head, the safety, you put all those things together, it just gives a team in a playoff game like this a lot of momentum, and Abington Heights wasn't able to recover.
Well, I know we have John is going to round up another guest for us, but I know there's a group of people here, our award-winning production team we'd like to thank for their superb effort this afternoon.
Our director, Tom Brunt, audio, Jeff Nace, graphics, Terry Colbert, camera, Denny Longnane, Kevin McGorry, and Doug Miller. Guys did a great job today. All the special effects, the graphics were great, and I know the people out there are going to appreciate it when they see this.
Now, we've been told, or the athletic director of CB West, Mike Gold, has said that next week's game is scheduled to be played at 1 o'clock at Neshaminy High School, and the CB West Bucks will be taking on Parkland, a very impressive Parkland football team that defeated a very tough Cumberland Valley football team out of central Pennsylvania.
Yeah, we look for that big game next week. And again, West is going to have to get fired up. And you think about it, we talked about this as the second season. You have to get fired up for every game. All these teams are 10-0, 11-0, 11-1, and they come in. You got to be ready. You can't be flat in the first half. I don't know that they were so flat, but I think Abington Heights just executed a little bit more. Once West saw what they were doing offensively, their defense was able to shut them down. And Hewitt, who had, I thought, a terrific game for him, really their player of the game, never quit, really had heart the whole way, and you got to take your hat off to him. But this CB West team is going to be tough to beat.
I thought the Abington Heights quarterback, Chris Kelly, did a nice job as well, but the sign of a good team for me, Tom, is when you're not having a good day, and things are not going your way, and somehow you still find a way to win. And what I like about CB West, exactly, they have depth. You know, when you look at today, Sean Michael Janssen was a hero. A couple of touchdowns, couple of plays. Dave Camburn on the field goal block, on the aborted field goal, makes the interception, runs it back for the first touchdowns. That we know we give him unofficially 100 yards, but officially it's probably 102, 103-yard return. And that was essentially the difference. But we talk about guys that are looking good and feeling good all the time. That means John Price, because he's wearing one of those Ventresca ties. John, you have a guest.
Huge congratulations to Coach Patton on a big victory. The first half, A couple people were wondering what was going on. In the second half, the roof blew off the place, and there were a bunch of huge plays, a couple of them over 50 yards at a time.
Well, you know, they were exciting, and I'm still disappointed. You know, CB West football, you get the ball in the 20, you drive the length of the field, you play smash mouth football. None of that happened. This type of performance won't get us very far. So I'm happy with the final score, but I'm not happy with the way we played.
Any big adjustments you'll have to make that you didn't get a chance to make at halftime for next week?
I think so much adjustments is just deciding we're going to come out and block and get things done the way we have in the past. I think our linemen played mediocre the first half. Our backs were less than mediocre, blocking for one another. The second half, they picked it up somewhat, but we have a long way to go. Maybe this was an eye-opener for them.
Have you had a chance to see any tape on Parkland or heard anything about them?
I mean, they're an excellent football team. This type of performance today gets us wiped out against Parkland. I mean, Parkland's a real strong team from a strong area, and that's what I'm going to stress. If we play like this next week, we'll be turning in our equipment shortly thereafter.
What was your impression of the quarterback Chris Kelly and the running back Derek Hewlett?
They're good players. I mean, I think strength-wise, we overwhelmed them. Once we realized they had to throw, then we could dictate a little bit what they were going to do. They're fine players, and their kids gave a good account of themselves. You know, they didn't come down here intimidated. I mean, they had us on the ropes. If they make a 10-zip, maybe an entirely different game.
Coach Pettin, thanks a lot for checking in. Real quick, who's in your arm here?
Well, he's a little ham here. He's a camera guy, and I'm working on him. He's got a heck of an arm. He's intelligent, and I might suit him up next week.
Well, we're looking forward to next week.
Little Ryan here, all right?
We're looking forward to next week, Coach Pettin. Congratulations. Thanks a lot. Back up to you guys.
Congratulations, Coach Pettin. I don't know, maybe it's either a future kicker or a guy that'll be a model for Ventresca. Who knows? But congratulations. But you heard Coach Pettin, and that kind of attitude, that championship, that winning attitude that for him has accounted for 300-plus career victories, Tom, is what the CB West Buck fans can expect next week going into Parkland as they take their now 13-0 record. They try to make it 14-0 and continue that march to the PIAA Quad A Championship Final.
Well, I think that the turning point in the game is, and it goes way back to the first quarter, it's 4th and 1, and Abington Heights decides to go for a field goal. And even at halftime, we talked to some of the people up here, and they said, how could you not go for it? 4th and 1, you're driving on West up and down the field early in the game, and you decide to go for a field goal. The play totally turned around after the snap of the ball because it goes 100 yards the other way for a touchdown. And as far as I'm concerned, Abington Heights was out of the game at that point, even though it's 7-3 at half, and you think, okay, they got a chance. But West showed right after that they were going to dominate the line of scrimmage. They drove down, didn't get points. They missed a field goal. But, in the second half, I just got that feeling that it was going to be all West, and that third quarter proved to be the case.
I think you're right. Momentum and confidence is everything. And once that becomes suspect, you become vulnerable. But folks out there, you enjoy championship caliber football, probably the finest that you're going to see in this state next Saturday at Neshaminy High School. We expect a 1 o'clock kickoff. It'll be CB West Bucks taking on Parkland High School. You just heard what Coach Pettin had to say about Parkland, one of the finest teams in the state. Tom, it'll be an ideal matchup.
Ideal matchup. They're well coached. Parkland has beat some very good teams this year that were ranked in the state, and Mike Pettin is right. You have got it. They'll come out and put up 14, 21 points if you let them early. So they've got to be prepared, and you know what? They will be.
Once again, for our production crew, for our field reporter, John Price, and for my partner here, Tom White, I'm Florian Kempf. On behalf of Tri-State Media, the final score, CB West 37, the Abington Heights Comets 10. Thanks for watching, everybody, and happy holidays to you and your families. Good night.